It says we're live. Murphy, you think we're live? Okay. We got Murphy here, everybody. Murphy is...
I came from the future.
He came from the future. Yeah. And who wins the game if he came from the future? It's the Bengals and the Cowboys. Who wins the game?
It's the Bengals.
The Bengals win. Cool. Wow.
I can't talk right now. I got a virus.
Oh, you got a virus? Okay. He's got a virus, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, you deal with that virus while I make sure that we're live.
Hi, Dad.
Father of the year right here, by the way. Just one sec.
I'll be right back.
Okay. What you're gonna? Oh, okay. He's not. He's going somewhere. I don't know. But we are live. We are in fact live. So, hey Murphy, Mommy's trying to sleep. Daniel Berry's Sports Highlights says, "Yo, let's go." Mikey, for once, thinks the Bengals are gonna win, which is, it's Cowboys. Like, yeah, we're probably gonna win. Like, and that's not. Like, honestly, we probably could. We totally could lose. We totally could, because the Bengals are stupid and I hate them. But I love them. But I hate them. But they make me want to run my head into a wall. But like the Bengals should have been winning pretty much every game they've had all year. Like they've gotten blown out in one game, and that was against the Eagles. And other than that, they should have basically beaten everybody. Like they should be like, what are they? 4-8 right now. So I mean, like realistically, they should be like, realistically, they should probably be like, 9-3 or something like that, right? But like, I mean, they genuinely could be like 11-1 right now, and I'm not gonna like say, that Eagles game, whatever, but basically every single other game, like they should have won those games, but they're 4-8, and so this is where we just are right now. We're just 4-8, and that's what life is right now. But I'm glad, Mikey, that you think the Bengals are going to win. That's pretty cool. I think we'll score more than 26 points, but, we'll see. We'll see. Good luck, but Bengals suck. Will they make the playoffs? Lions and Vikings at least clinched already. No, Jim, they probably won't make the playoffs. I would be shocked. They have to win all the rest of their games, and if they do, I put out a video about, we got a zombie now. That's your old shirt, right? Like, that's the one that you already tore up? That's not a new one that you tore up? Okay, just making sure. So, the Bengals, yeah, playoffs, almost certainly not going to happen. That's pretty much already been decided. I don't think there's any chance of that. The Lions and the Vikings have clinched already, because the Lions and the Vikings are good, and the Bengals are not. They're bad. They're very, very bad. Can I help you? Are you just going to sit there and be a zombie the whole time?
I have to process languages.
Okay.
Besides brains, like that's my own zombie language.
Well, do you want to like actually say something to them?
I think the Bengals are gonna win. I have a memory.
Okay. Because you're from the future, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So you know that the Bengals won already. Okay, well, we should have you on more then. You should just tell us what's going to happen before every game, because then I wouldn't be so disappointed every week when the Bengals keep losing. It's not your fault.
If you tell me it's my fault, I will.
Well, it's not your fault, so it's Lou Anarumo's fault, I think. Lou Anarumo's fault. I think it's his fault. It's also kind of Zach Taylor's fault. It's also kind of like, pretty much everybody in the defensive backfield's fault, but Ravens swept the Bengals. You don't have to remind me, Jim. You don't have to remind me about that. That's when you gave up on them. Defense is horrible. The defense is horrendous. Now, like, the Ravens have a really good offense, so, like, whatever. But, like, oh, my God. Like, we should not, like, the Steelers, we let them get, like, 38 points last week, didn't we? Like, absolutely unbelievable. There's no reason we should be letting Russell Wilson at this stage in his career put up 38 points on us. It's just embarrassing. Who's that? Who's that?
Foxy from Lanky Box.
From Lanky Box, okay. Do y'all know Lanky? Mikey, you're young enough. You might know what Lanky Box is. I don't know anything about Lanky Box, but Murphy really likes Lanky Box.
Which I can't watch anymore.
Well, yeah, if you didn't act like that, then maybe you wouldn't have that problem. Darnold, awesome 5-touchdown game, while Cousins 0 touchdowns, 9 interceptions in 4 games, losing streak, a waste of money. Well, yeah, dude, Kirk Cousins is interesting. Like Kirk Cousins is like the kind of quarterback that like if you don't have him, you're gonna be like you'd hate to not have him, but you're not gonna like be amazing. He's like an Andy Dalton type quarterback, right? The difference is Sam Darnold. Like, let's not forget that Sam Darnold was what was he like the number 3 overall pick one year, and there was talk about him potentially being number 1 overall. Like Sam Darnold's a talented guy. I'm not saying he's like gonna turn into the top overall pick that he should have been all those years ago. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but what I am saying is I think that people like. I mean, Sam Darnold was always going to do something at some point. So, that's like with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was like, if you go from Andy Dalton to Joe Burrow, and I'm not saying Sam Darnold is Joe Burrow, but it's kind of the same idea. The Bengals went from Andy Dalton, and then they got Joe Burrow. So it's like, yeah, you'd hate to not have Andy Dalton unless you go get somebody like Joe Burrow. You'd hate to not have Kirk Cousins unless you end up with somebody like Sam Darnold at his peak, right? What's up?
My time is up. I'll be back in a sec. I have a date with my wife.
Okay.
I won't today,
You take okay. All right then. He got sucked into the ground, I guess, is what might have happened. Did you tear a hole in your sock too?
It's a zombie thing.
Yeah. You're not tearing holes in all your clothes, are you?
Nope. Just this.
When did you do that?
When we did that last video. Right, audience?
I'm going to have to go check the video. Because if you're tearing up your clothes, that's not okay. Like, I'm going to have to talk to Mommy about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm not saying that's what you did, but I'm going to have to investigate that, I think. Mikey's back. What's up, Mikey? What's up, Mikey? Mikey, you made me very sad the other day when you reminded me that our teams have the same record. That's not okay. You didn't have to tell me that. You didn't have to. It wasn't necessary for you to remind me of that. Oh God! Actually, the Saints have a better record than us right now because they're 5-8. We're 4-8. So. Yeah, I agree. The brains. Somebody needs to have some brains. If you could go get some brains from some people and give them to the Bengals, that'd be nice.
Yeah, but are we gonna start? Are we gonna put the video up?
Not yet. The game starts at 8:15. It's 8:08. So we're just gonna talk to the people right now for a little while. What's up, Connor? Mikey says no. Falcons suck. Yeah. Well, the Falcons are okay. I don't know. They're 6-7, right? They're better than us. They're better than y'all. Y'all are 5-8. They're 6-7. That's better. So, yeah. Jets lost again. Of course they did. Rodgers time to retire. 41 years old, washed up. I agree, Jim. Like he should have retired. He should have retired probably after the Packers were done because he's not going to go to another team and be elite. But definitely should have retired after his after he tore his ACL last year, whatever happened. You're right, we have more wins, yeah.
If they had more brains.
Yeah, if the Bengals had more brains, they'd have more wins. But unfortunately, they don't. They have no brains.
I will get brains now.
Okay, give them to Zach Taylor, please.
Be right back.
He's gonna go get Zach Taylor some brains, y'all. Oh, okay, I see. The Aints will get nowhere with Derek Carr. Yeah. That's not true. I don't entirely agree with that, Jim. If you put the right team around Derek Carr, you can win with Derek Carr. But the Saints have not put a good team around Derek Carr.
Ow, I got beat up by them.
That was quick. You got beat up that fast?
Yeah, but I put the brains in them.
Why? If you just didn't put the brains in them, you wouldn't have gotten beaten up.
I actually put the brains in, and they started beating me up because they don't like zombies. I almost got stabbed on the head because that's my weak point. Boop.
Well, then if you just hadn't done that, you would have been fine, right?
Yeah, but I'm not dead. Well,
Well, you are, but you're a zombie, right? Zombies are dead. Okay. Yep, yeah, us too, Mikey. We suck too. If the Bengals lose, will they still make it to the playoffs? Well, watch my last video, Connor, because I put out a video about that. The Bengals still, maybe, I don't know. It partially depended on, I forget exactly what the results are. Or, I could actually tell you right now. Well, we got like 4 minutes till this game starts. So I'll bring up the Bengals playoff odds simulator here. So I think we're just going to have to reset everything. That's annoying. I'm not going to reset week 14, I don't think. So we're going to take all this off.
1%.
Okay, so if the Bengals lose today, then the best they can do is 8-9, right? And so let's see, week 4. Are we in week 15? No, we're in week 14. Okay, but this is the last game of week 14, so all of these games are set in stone. So we're just going to have to go ahead and reset all this. Brain, excuse you? What?
It's a zombie thing.
Okay.
Zombies created me. It's from the book Plants for the Zombies. I think
Okay.
you read it when you were kids. I think. Or probably you probably just wasted your time on thinking about the Bengals.
Yeah, I waste a lot of my time thinking about the Bengals, Murphy. That's pretty much kind of how my life has gone this whole time. The Bengals are not something you should be wasting your time thinking about, but that's what I do.
That's it. I'm getting your brain.
Yeah, you probably should. You'd probably do a better job with it than me. I've dedicated all this time to the Bengals. That was silly of me.
I'll get my dinner stuff for you.
Oh, that's why. Because it's Monday. That's why you guys have more wins than us, Mikey. Because y'all beat the Giants. Congratulations. We did too. So let's see. Steelers beat the Browns. Yep. Buccaneers beat the Raiders. Yep. Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Yep. Rams beat the Bills. They did. That was a game, by the way. That Rams-Bills game, that was something else. 49ers Bears. Yep. Chiefs beat the Chargers. They did, in fact. And then we're assuming, we're thinking Cowboys beating the Bengals, right? So if the Bengals lose tonight, they do still have according to the New York Times Upshot playoff odds simulator, the Bengals do still have a less than 1% chance, but still a chance that exists to make the playoffs. And perhaps during halftime, I will figure out what that actual scenario is. I mean, like, again, go watch my video that I put out this week because I kind of broke down what would happen. But there's probably an update since then, so I'll let y'all know. But we'll probably do that at halftime. It's about time to go ahead and get started on this. Why do you have a fork and a knife?
Because you said you waste your time to figure about the Bengals.
Well, you can't have my brain. I need that to, like, be alive.
Don't worry, you'll still think like yourself, but you're just gonna...
That's not how brains work.
You're gonna just, look at like a zombie.
That's not how brains work, Murphy. You have to, like, if you don't have your brain, you can't breathe.
Well, that's what a zombie creates us to do.
That's... Okay, all right. I'm arguing with the 10-year-old. 9-year-old, actually. Your birthday's tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, his birthday's tomorrow, everybody. Wish him a happy birthday.
Can I eat your brain now?
No, you can't eat my brain.
Too late.
No, Connor. Bengals playoff hopes ended at least 3 weeks ago. Well, look, yeah. That's not what he's asking, Jim. I think what he's asking... Well, no, he did say, will they still make it to the playoffs? They're not making it to the playoffs. Jim's absolutely right about that. The Bengals playoff hopes are over. But technically, they still could. Even if they lose tonight, it's still possible. Now, they'll probably get eliminated before they step on the field next week, but, What?
I just ate your brain. Soon you'll become a zombie like me.
I'd rather not.
Don't worry.
If you could please just not eat my brains, that would be preferable, I think.
Too late. I already ate it. So,
Oh.
But don't worry. You'll still think.
Well, I feel fine, so perhaps you ate, like, the gummy worms I keep in my head, and it wasn't actually the brains. Derek Carr got hurt. Well, that's unfortunate. Watched the video. I was confused. Yeah, me too. I would imagine how I felt making the video. It was a very confusing video to make. We won the toilet bowl. Yeah.
You mean skibbity toilet?
No, not skibbity toilet.
If you, people, I think
Still
you know
counts.
what that means.
Yeah, I'm sure Mikey at least probably knows what skibbity toilet is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Jim probably doesn't know what skibbity toilet is. I barely know what skibbity toilet is, and that's only because the kids I went to that study abroad with this summer kind of explained it to me.
Yeah.
Not really, but they it made me aware of it.
Yeah, but I know is that there are toilets with long, stretchy heads that pop out.
Yep. We got about to get the kickoff, and there it is actually, and that ball is going to sail well out of bounds, so that is going to be a touchback. The Bengals are going to get the ball at the 25-yard line, I believe. I'm still not used to these new kickoff rules. Why? I thought you were supposed to eat my brains. That was my arm.
Zombies do eat everything they come across.
All right.
Them.
Hey, you got about let's see, 14 minutes, and then you got to go get to bed, right? So
What? But I want to.
8:30. You can't. I told you can't stay up and watch the whole thing, Murphy. I told you that. You have school in the morning. We went through this multiple times. I already told you this over and over.
I could probably wait until halftime.
No, you can't. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap, throws to Jamar Chase. It's a screen pass, and he picks up about 3 yards. Might have fallen forward for 4, but no such luck. All right. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. That was boring, and hopefully that's not the way this whole game goes because. I mean, hey, I don't have class in the morning. You know, I'm on break now, so I guess we can stay up as long as we need to, right? All right, 2nd and 7.
Hey, Kyle. Can I bring good boy?
Joe Burrow fakes the handoff, rolls back, throws, and it's caught by. Oh my God! It's caught by Drew Sample, and Drew Sample just gets tackled immediately. Oh my God! What is going on? What, Murphy?
Can I bring in good boy Bork in here?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
He probably just should have pitched it to Chase Brown. That ended up just being a disaster of a play.
Right, but
Holy crap.
I think the audience doesn't know Bork.
The audience knows Bork. They've met Bork.
Why
I'm not saying I won't bring him on again, but not right now.
And
And if you don't stop arguing with me, it's going to be time for bed now.
Okay.
All right, Joe Burrow. The Bengals are lined up at about the 33.5-yard line. He's clapping. Looks like he's trying to audible something around. He's going to take the snap, rolls back, throws. He's got T. Higgins, and T. Higgins is not able to hang on to it. That's actually a great play there by Trayvon Diggs to knock that ball out. So the Bengals are going to have to punt. It's 4th and 6. So I'm going to need the defense to step up and do something, which means the Bengals are probably going to lose now, right? Is that the stands that you're trying to imitate there?
It's a thing in Rocket League.
Oh, Rocket League. Interesting.
Yeah, when you play. I'm pretty sure you guys know what Rocket League is.
Yeah, most people know what Rocket League is.
A card game where you have to score the ball until time runs out, and who does.
All right, so the punt is back. Ryan Recal boots it away, and that is going to be caught around the 20. He's going to return it 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh, God.
But
Gets tackled about the 41-yard line.
there's actually
No coverage.
Mod sometimes, like a football mod.
Mm-hmm.
On Rocket League. It's pretty cool. Oh, you should check it out.
Okay, all right. Let's focus on the game, okay?
NFL Rocket League.
We got Cooper Rush coming out, who, we'd normally think like, oh, hey, cool, the backup quarterback. But no, the Bengals are always terrible against backup quarterbacks, and one piece of evidence of that is Cooper Rush, who in the past we have thought, oh, cool, we get to play Cooper Rush, and then he destroyed us. So hopefully that doesn't happen today.
If the Bengals lose, I am going to double die.
You're going to double die? Yeah, me too. I might also double die.
And then you'll become like
So that's about a
me.
2-yard run. There's a handoff, and it's going to be 2nd and 8 after that 2-yard run. I think it was Sam Hubbard who brought him down. Brains. I will. How about this? I'll let you stay up until this drive is over, okay? But once this drive is over, it's time for bed, okay?
This. How much time is that?
It's probably like 10 minutes. All right, Cooper Rush, under center. He's going to hand the ball off, and, boy. Gets a bit of a hole, picks up about 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, boy.
And I should probably get the roster up because it's number 23. I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah.
That is Rico Dowdle. Of course, Rico Dowdle, the greatest running back of all time that I totally have heard of.
Audience, there's something I got to tell you. On New Year's
Okay, you're gonna have to wait until this play's over. 3rd and 1. Come on, defense. They got the ball at the 49-yard line. Cooper Rush fakes the handoff that time, rolls out to his right, and he throws. Nobody is covering anybody because nobody ever does, and our secondary is complete utter garbage.
birthday time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a first down to Luke Shoemaker.
I want to die.
Yeah, me too. Our secondary is absolute garbage. I don't even know if that was a secondary or no. Yeah, that was. I think that was just Jordan Battle being out of position there.
Yeah.
Unreal, dude. This is what I'm saying. Like it feels like if the offense doesn't score on every single drive, we're probably gonna lose. All right, Cooper Rush is in the shotgun formation. It's 1st and 10. Takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, throws, and it's caught. And that's going to be about 5-yard pickup for CD Lamb, looks like.
Yeah, and also, I actually got a shotgun.
Yeah. Well, they play shotgun a lot in the NFL.
Yeah,
That's actually only a 4-yard pickup, so
no,
it's going to
I'm
be 2nd
talking
and 6.
about the gun shotgun.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, Murphy. All right, 2nd and 6. Shotgun formation once again for Cooper Rush from the 33-yard line, looks like is where they have it. It's going to be a fake pitch. He's going to throw, and oh my God. Once again, caught. Yeah, CD Lamb, I think. Yep, once again.
I almost forgot something. I'll be right back. That's this.
It's about a 10-yard pickup. It's going to be another Cowboys first down. Great. Wonderful. Dude, I'm just like, I'm about to just like straight up turn into a nihilist about the Bengals at this point. This is terrible. Unbelievable. I don't even know who 42 of the Bengals is. Like, that's how just like done I am right now. Oh boy. Marco Wilson. Oh yeah, that's the guy we just signed. I remember. All right, Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, rolls back, throws, and that was just a total misfire. And that's gonna end up being an incomplete pass. A whole lot of nothing going on there.
And guess what? We got an actual shotgun.
Well, that's not a shotgun. That's some sort of pistol. I mean, you could maybe argue it's like it kind of looks like a sawed-off shotgun, but it's built more like a pistol, though. All right, 2nd and 10. Oh, Mikey says happy birthday.
Thank you. And
all right, Cooper Rush hands the ball off to number 23 there, Rico Dowdle, and he picks about 8 yards because nobody knows how to tackle and nobody knows how to do anything. And narrating the Bengals defense is a chore, and I look forward to the end of this season at this point, honestly.
yeah. By the way, there's something I gotta tell the audience. I kept this secret for long, but it isn't a secret anymore. I will be
3rd and 2. You gotta play around the game, Murphy. This is what I was talking about.
great.
Under center, Cooper Rush hands the ball off. Rico Dowdle tries to spin out of a tackle, is not able to get it taken care of, and DJ Ivey brings him down. Look, no, somebody actually does know how to tackle. Wonderful. And they hold him to 4th down, so the Cowboys are probably going to settle for a field goal here, which is better than utter disaster, which is what we usually get with the defense. What's up now? You wanted to tell them something?
Right. I'm going to be transforming on New Year's Eve at midnight because I am going to be taking a potion for my friend Delilah. And if you see me out soaring in the skies, you are going to freak. It's going to be freaky, bro.
All right, Murphy. 4th and 1. Oh, they're going for it, actually. Might as well, honestly. Cooper Rush, shotgun snap. He's being rushed, and he throws it up and wide open. Oh, my God. Mike Hilton just completely gives up on the play, and CD Lamb comes down with what it looked like Cooper Rush was just throwing it away, but, you know, it comes down, and, like, I don't know what Mike Hilton's doing there. Mike Hilton just completely gave up on that play. Are we tanking? Are we tanking? I'm genuinely asking. Are we actually? It looks like we're tanking now.
That's it. I'm killed.
It looks like we're trying to lose.
Looks like I'm going to kill the Cowboys. I'm going to kill them.
Disclaimer, we do not advocate violence against football teams on this channel.
I just killed them.
And well, except for football-related violence, but... All right, so kick is up. That's good. All right, great, wonderful. And the worst frickin' season that I can... maybe not the worst season the Bengals have ever had in my entire life, but definitely, probably the most disappointing season of my entire life continues. And this is just... unbelievable. It's heartbreaking. It's hurtful. Like they could have been so much more. And maybe hopefully they can find a way to get back to it next year, maybe 2026. I don't know, but like the way it's looking right now, it's just I don't even know what to I don't even know what to tell you at this point, guys. We're completely like there's nothing to build on right now. There's Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and that's wonderful, but. And like the offense is pretty good. They did, that first drive here wasn't good, but like that defense is so bad. I don't even know how you fix it right now. Like maybe if you can get the secondary going well, then you can kind of like put everything else together. But like they have no like Trey Hendrickson is their only elite talent right that they have right now. On the defense. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, well, I got some comments, so I'll talk about the comments, and you think about what you wanted to say. T.J. Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, best 3 in the NFL for Vikings. They rock. That's wonderful for you guys, Jim. I hope that's awesome, and you have a wonderful, exciting time. Jamar Chase is pretty good. T. Higgins is pretty good when he actually plays. And then, Mike Gesicki's pretty good. I would say we are as far as like top 2 wide receivers and then, the tight end that we have, we've got a pretty good setup. The problem is T. Higgins is hardly ever actually playing. And Jamar Chase and Mike Gesicki can't do it all themselves. And I mean, to some extent, they kind of can. Like, look at how good our offense has been this year, but the defense is so bad that, we don't even need an average defense. We need a defense that isn't just the worst of it, the absolute, completely god awful worst unit you could possibly come up with. If we had even a slightly useful defense, then we'd be we'd have 9 or 10 wins already. Frankly. If the defense was even just competent. But they're not. Hey, y'all, I'm ready for some football and fingers crossed a Bengals win to keep those slim playoff hopes alive. Well, yeah. Yeah, me too, Jim. Or, I'm sorry, Jay. Me too, Jay. Fingers crossed. You never know. With this defense, though, I don't know. My dad's prediction is Bengals 42-38. Well, not after that first drive, Mikey. We'll see. We'll see.
I just remembered what I wanted to say.
Sorry, you've been sick for a week. What's up? Hurry up, because kickoff, you got to speak up faster, dude. Khalil Herbert catches it and goes out of the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Go ahead, hurry up. You got to say your stuff when you have a chance.
Got it. Short-term memory.
Next time you think about it, spit it out.
Right,
I'll give you a little bit more time before you got to go to bed, okay?
Right. Bengals with a brain day.
Bengals with what?
In the future, the zombie team call ourselves the Zangles.
Okay. Joe Burrow, under center, takes the snap, hands the ball off to Chase Brown, who just immediately runs into a guy and cannot do anything with that. And you could almost convince me that we're tanking at this point. And of course, Mike Zimmer is the guy on the other side of it. I hate everything. I absolutely hate everything. I do. You know what? What if we fired Zach Taylor at the end of this season, which is quite a possibility, and we hired Mike Zimmer to be our new head coach? You want to talk about something that would rally the Bengals fan base specifically more than any other fan base? Because, I know, Jim, y'all Vikings fans have feelings about Mike Zimmer, but we love Mike Zimmer here in Cincinnati, right? So maybe Mike Zimmer. I mean, that's give it a shot. I'm sure he'd take the job. There's a flag on the play, and it's looking like they're going to call that on the Cowboys. It was offsides or unabated to the quarterback or something like that. He's got a knife now. Okay.
Yeah, for slicing brains.
Steelers are 1 win away. They are, Mikey, which means they're probably not going to finish 11-6 because I can't see them just like winning one more game and then losing all the rest of them. Yeah, I agree. That's the correct reaction to that. That is the correct reaction to that. But it is true. The Steelers have been... Hey, mommy's sleeping. 2nd and 2. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap, rolls back. Good protection. Ultimately not great protection, but he does get it dumped off to Chase Brown for looks like the best play of the day for the Bengals, which is about a 13 or 14 yard gain. So it was a good play. It was a good play. That worked out okay. We got a first down, Bengals. So that's good. High five. We actually got to see the Bengals do something.
Sorry. As a zombie, my body parts limp.
Okay, slow 5. How about a slow 5? There you go. We got a slow 5. I love your new profile picture for the channel. I appreciate that, Connor. That is the result. I'll explain that here in a second because it's 1st and 10 for the Bengals from the 49-yard line. Let's go get a touchdown. How about that? All right, it's going to be a quick handoff to Jamar Chase, and he is going to. That's a nice play there. He gets out of danger a little bit there, turns on the Jets, and turns it around for about a first down.
I just remember what I was going to say.
Wait, what?
Fans. There's going to be a new YouTube channel because I think Kyle said when I'm 10, I could probably get my own camera so I can like make videos of me playing games.
Yeah, not exactly. Sure, at some point. But I'll explain that to you here in a second. Next commercial break, we'll talk about that because you're going to have to go to bed anyway. 1st and 10, Joe Burrow from the 35, rolls back, throws. He's got Chase Brown on the short dump off. And he cannot get out of the first tackle, but that's okay because he picked about 7 on the play. There's a flag, though, so it's holding on the Bengals. Of course it is. All right, never mind. And I thought it was going to be a good play. Nope. Kaiju says, go Bengals hooday. I agree. I hope tanking is the stupidest thing of all time, in my opinion. I hate it when people tank. When people advocate for tanking. I think it's stupid. It makes no sense to me. We can talk about why here in a little bit. You know, maybe it's like a halftime topic or something like that. But like tanking is the dumbest thing in the world to me. Got a knife growing out from behind my head. 1st and 20 now from the 45. Wonderful. That was Amarius Mims, by the way, who got called for holding. Wonderful. All right, so it's going to be an actual handoff to Chase Brown, and I don't know what they're doing there. Like, why are you like you had some momentum going? You're just going to hand the ball off. Whatever. Picks up about 4 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 16. Great. So, all right. They snapped it quicker than the camera got back. And Joe Burrow tries to throw it, is not able to get the ball off. And he didn't get it past the line of scrimmage, so I'm pretty sure that's like intentional grounding, but they're not going to call it on him. So I guess I'm not going to... Okay, whatever. Okay, now they're throwing the flag. I thought so. Great. That took them forever to throw that flag. Oh, they're calling it on the defense. Oh, no, okay, they're calling it a penalty on the defense. So the penalty's offset, and they're going to replay 2nd down. Okay, so I guess that worked out okay for us. That was a terrible play. So they had 12 men on the field. And, okay. So if Joe Burrow had just taken the sack, then... that would have worked out pretty well for us, but instead, we're just going to replay the 2nd down, which I guess whatever, okay. He's doing the Halloween music now. 2nd and 16 from the 41. Maybe we can get back in field goal range. Like, oh boy. All right, shotgun snap. Joe Burrow throws it to Jamar Chase. There you go, and he didn't quite get the first down, but... Got it most of the way, picked up about 13 yards there, so now it's going to be 3rd and about 3. Yeah, stays inbounds a little bit. Oh, I don't know. He might have gotten an extra. Okay, they did give him the extra yard. Okay, so it's going to be 3rd and 2, actually. So 3rd and 2, can you convert here and keep the drive alive? That would be very nice. At least they're back in field goal range. Got Cade York as the kicker now because Evan McPherson is hurt. Shotgun snap for Joe Burrow. He throws it short to Chase Brown. He was wide open. That was a well-designed play. And that's a first down for the Bengals. There you go. let's close this door, Murphy.
Hold up, I was gonna do a little scare thing. Like a little scare talking.
Okay, well, just do it quietly because Mommy's trying to sleep.
Right.
1st and 10. All right. 448, 439, 438, 437 for sinking purposes. 435, 434, 433, 32, 31. Shotgun snap. Joe Burrow rolls back. He's going to wind up. He throws, and he's got Chase Brown, who was not able to come down with the catch, unfortunately.
I hope you weren't.
Had him in the end zone and was not able to come down with it. Wonderful. I'm sorry, that was actually Andre Yoshivas, not Chase Brown. No, that was Chase Brown. Okay. That was actually a great play there by 26 to knock that ball away. The Cowboys defenders, I think the Cowboys defensive backs could teach the Bengals a thing or two. It was Deron Bland, by the way, who knocked that ball away. They could certainly teach the Bengals defensive backs a thing or two about playing coverage. Because our defensive backs are awful. 2nd and 10. From the 20 and a half, or 19 and a half yard line, I guess. Joe Burrow winds up, throws, got Jamar Chase, who just did, I don't know, what was that? Joe Burrow hit him square in the chest, and Jamar Chase just did not even attempt to grab it until, half a second too late. What? Joe Burrow throws, Jamar Chase, it wasn't even a play by the Cowboys defender. What? What on earth is Jamar Chase doing there? He had it right. That was a perfect throw by Joe Burrow. Stop. 3rd and 10. Now you can keep doing stuff, just don't do that in my ear. That's all I'm saying. 3rd and 10. Joe Burrow rolls back. Bounces out of pressure, throws, and he's got T. Higgins, extends the drive for the first down. There you go. Just go down. Don't fumble, T. Okay, good. Down to the 6-yard line. Y'all see how traumatized I am by this team? I'm just sitting here T. Higgins makes a good play, and I'm like, don't fumble it. That's my reaction at this point. Oh, my God. All right, but hey, first down. Bengals are driving. That was a bad job by Amaris Mims, but a good job by Joe Burrow to recognize what was going on there. Get out of the pressure. All right, 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. So can you pick up 6 yards and get a touchdown? That would sure be nice. All right. Shotgun snap. Hands the ball off to Chase Brown. Picks up about 1.5 yards. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. Falcons suck and are currently on the outside looking in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about the Falcons, honestly. The Falcons are an interesting experiment of how to be the weirdest possible team ever always, and what on earth is happening at the top of my head. Okay. They play 3 losable games. All right, then. Hey, John, what's going on? Give me 1 second. So the Bengals got the ball at the 5. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap. Steps back, throws. He's got Jamar Chase, and he caught it. They're saying it's a touchdown. Let's go. Bengals get a touchdown. Jamar Chase in the end zone. There we go, baby. All right. So we're going to stay on the extra point, and then I think it's somebody's bedtime. Okay. Just barely, but Jamar Chase caught that ball and he was in bounds, and so we got Cade York coming out for his Bengals debut, kicking this extra point. Please make it. Former Cleveland Brown, by the way. Cade York, ball kick is up, and oh my God, he made it, but really almost screwed that up. There's a flag on the Cowboys, and a delay of game on the Bengals. What on earth? So I think we're gonna have to kick again. That might have been why he almost missed, because the referee whistle probably threw him off. All right, well, gonna have to re-kick the extra point. Steelers play Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles plus the Bengals. Chiefs, Ravens, Eagles. Mikey, I swear to God. I swear to God, Mikey. You take your voodoo somewhere else. Cade York kicks that one up, and that one's much more on point, even though it's 5 yards back. So it is going to be 7-7. And I am having my brains siphoned from me by a zombie, it appears. Stop. No. Big toe out of bounds, pass interference, blocked field goal, OTW. I'm not sure what that means. Fumbled snap, doinked in field goal. Probably. Am I missing some? This is just Bengals football, John. Kitty goes meow. They haven't been doing it this year. All right, so it's a commercial. It's your bedtime. So I'll be back. Come on.
I hope you have the rest of your life because I think you're going to die.
Ah, crap. I think I missed something. It says 1st and 10, so maybe I didn't. Did I miss anything? It looks like I did. What did I miss? It's going to dump off past the CeeDee Lamb, who just runs to the other side of the field, and nobody's able... Oh, my God. And he just completely blows past the entire Bengals defense until eventually Mike Hilton comes from the other side of the field and tackles him at the 35-yard line. You fucking kidding me? Oh, my God. I gotta do 4 more games of this. Are you serious? Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, rolls back, throws... Nothing. Looks like the Cowboys receiver fell down there. So, that works out okay, I guess. Oh, jeez. Dude, I gotta do 4 more games of this. Like, I gotta finish this one, and then I gotta do 4 more games. Like, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. Oh, boy. 2nd and 10. Cooper Rush. Shotgun formation, takes a snap, hands the ball off, and nobody can tackle him at all. Rico Dowdle just blasts through the Bengals' first wave, gets through their second wave, and then gets pulled down for about an 11-yard gain. Who was that who missed that tackle? It was Chris Jenkins. That's disappointing. He's supposed to be a good run stopper, and that was not a good play by him at all. That was disappointing. Rico Dowdle takes the handoff. And there you go. Keem Davis-Gaither stops him in his tracks. No, I'm sorry. That was actually Joseph Osai. Stops him in his tracks. And it's going to be 2nd and 10. So if we can get more defensive plays like that, but I know we won't because our defense is absolute trash. Dude, what a shame because like our defense was developing. And we had, good young talent like Joseph Osai, who, was going to be like a future star. And then he goes through injury issues and like all sorts of like things happen. And this is what we have in 2024. Things were looking so good after 2022. And look at where we're at now. This is just end of the first quarter. We're heading into quarter 2. And hey, the Bengals aren't losing. So that's, something. My prediction was 38-35. The Bengals winning, which still possible, still within the realm of possibility, The offenses are going to have to do a little bit more than they did in the first half. But, that's not terribly uncommon. So, as far as the logo goes, who was that? Somebody was talking about the logo earlier. There's some more comments. I'll catch up with those in a second. But somebody was talking about the logo earlier. Was it Connor? Yeah, it was Connor. New profile picture for the channel. Appreciate that, Connor. Y'all actually can see right over here. I put it in the... Fuck, I cannot. There we go. There we go. Okay. I cannot figure out how to point. Okay, right here. Right here. New logo for the channel. Just like, y'all saw, I put up a new... I'm not sure I have it here. See if I can actually play it. The new intro for the channel. See if I can find it real quick. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, that's the new intro for the channel. That's the shortened version. That's the version that's going to play in the shows. There's a longer one, which is the one that's the channel trailer right now. But that plus the new profile picture, it's just kind of my way of signaling that hey, I'm starting to wind down, and I'm going to start having more time to be able to put into this channel, and I'm not going to have to completely be really like maybe a live stream and like every week and during the season. and then a video like every great once in a while. What my plan is right now is I'm planning on planning on doing a lot more live streaming, but then also doing like, individual videos here and there that are like cutouts of the live streaming. Might even open a Twitch or something. I don't know. It's all stuff that I'm kind of playing with now, but yeah. Anyway, we're back to the game. 2nd and 10. Cooper Rush throws. Oh, it's intercepted. Is it intercepted? Looks like it is intercepted. Geno Stone's the one who came down with it, but that was a great play by, I think was it Mike Hilton who got his hands on it and bobbled it up and down and wasn't able to come down with it, but he did send it up high enough that Geno Stone was able to catch it on the ricochet. I'm sorry, that was Cam Taylor-Britt who bobbled it, and Geno Stone was able to finish off the interception. So that's a big play right there. That's a big play right there. All right, baby. So, big play. Absolutely fantastic, phenomenal. We needed that. That's fantastic. So, but yeah, the show going to be going in a bit of a new direction. I'm going to try more live streaming. And then trying to do clips of the live streaming and see if we can, come up with a consistent amount of content that way. But just putting out that stuff is my way of kind of showing that, hey, starting to be able to, I think, transition back into that here soon. We do have the Christmas season coming up soon, so it won't be like there will be some interim periods here and there, but I'm gonna try to start ramping things back up, and hopefully we can take the momentum we're at and kind of do some cool stuff with that. So the logo, I made that on my own. That is the difference in me learning graphic design. And they're not gonna say that Geno Stone wasn't able to catch this, are they? No, I think he caught that. He secured it, and then at the end, it ended up touching the ground, right? But it was secured before that point. Bengals coming out on the field, and it doesn't look like they're going to challenge us. So it's 1st and 10. Joe Burrow is motioning T. Higgins to the right, and there is the snap. Okay, looks like they're not going to challenge it, and that's going to be a handoff to Khalil Herbert, and he picks up about 3 yards or so. All right, that worked out. That was a good play. So that works out very nicely. Bengals do get possession of that ball. There was some questioning that I had based off of what they were doing on the broadcast with showing the replay, and they were really kind of focusing on the fact that the ball was touching the ground. But in my opinion, I think they were just trying to create drama, because if you see the whole replay, you'll see that the ball was secured well before the ball touched the ground. So just because it touches the ground doesn't mean that it's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Or I'm sorry, 2nd and 6. Joe Burrow shotgun snap. He throws over the middle. It's caught. That was a dangerous pass, but Drew Sample caught it. So that's going to be a 1st down. Bengals offense is moving. So I think we're gonna have some fun with this channel, and live content. We're gonna do stuff like we're gonna get back to doing power rankings. We're gonna talk about, probably gonna be doing predictions and stuff like that. There might be a lot of stuff that we, previously did with the Battle of Ohio podcast. Not saying the Battle of Ohio podcast is going away, but I just have not been able to, connect with Thomas as much lately. So that, probably won't be as frequent as it used to be. All right. So, it's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown, and it's a nice little run there. He, keeps his legs moving, picks up about 5 yards. And so, that's not like the most amazing run of all time, but that's like the hard-nosed type of running that you need. And so if we could just get more of that, that'd be fine. Instead of just this boomer bust running style, and it's usually bust. If we could just get some hard-nosed runs like that and make that your bread and butter, that would be, that would be much better than what we've been getting. All right, so I'm going to catch up to some of these comments here. There you go, John. Missed something bad. You just saw the bad part? Well, it ain't bad right now. Doing okay right now. From the 25-yard line, Joe Burrow fakes the handoff. Chase Brown rolls back, throws. He's got Jamar Chase, and he's got plenty of room to run there. Gets about a 20-yard pass right there, I think, roughly. Mikey will not like this in my main fantasy league this week. I started 5 Buccaneers. Seems like an odd decision. They're playing the Raiders, so that's probably why, right? Great play there, though. Jamar Chase turning on the Jets. Thank goodness for that tutty. I was worried about settling for a field goal when McCarthy is going to try to be Andy Reid and go for it like on the Lamb touchdown drive. Yeah, or Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor who goes for it quite a bit as well. The hell you said, John? I don't understand the thought process there, but I guess it's because they're playing the Raiders. Khalil Herbert gets the catch out of the backfield, and he is not able to break the tackle, but he's able to get past his guy and pick up probably about 3 extra yards before being dragged out of bounds. So, 2nd and 3, offense is moving. That's good. Mayfield, Evans, Otten, and the Broncos D. Probably meant the Buccaneers D, right? Picked up the Bucs D versus Raiders. I wanted Saints, but my dad picked them up before I could with Tucker. Picked up the Bucs kicker too. Yeah, Tucker might not be the best fantasy kicker this year, oddly enough. Khalil Herbert takes the handoff, and he does not do anything with that. I think he did pick up a yard, but it's going to be 3rd and 3. They're saying he didn't pick up a yard, but I think he picked up like at least half a yard or something there. Let's see on the replay here. Maybe not. He kind of got stonewalled. I thought he fell forward, but he didn't. He just got pushed back. Okay, never mind. Like the logo? I'm glad you like the logo, John. That's my graphic design at work. Before it was just a logo that was based off of my skill set when I first started this channel. But I mean that new logo that is the graphic design skills that I've learned over the last couple of years. So in case you guys were wondering if school's doing anything for me. Joe Burrow gets out of pressure and throws it very short to Andre Yoshivas. It's too short, and it's in the dirt. He's not able to do anything with it. There is a flag on the play, though. What is the flag? The camera is pointed directly at Cordell Volson, and they are calling holding. So, at least that gives the Bengals another 3rd down, though. So, there's worse holding penalties on the planet. Like instead of punting here, we have an opportunity to try to pick up a 1st down again. Because we would have been punting, probably. 3rd and 13. Actually, we might have gone for it there, honestly, just because of it would have been short yardage and you can't trust the defense. So we might have gone for it, but it's going to be 3rd and 13. So we'll see what happens here. The Raiders are so bad, I thought the Buccaneers would get fantasy points. That's fair, John. That's fair. I thought that might be it. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, and gets out of pressure, throws, and he's got T. Higgins, and ends up. I think they said he caught it. That's short of the 1st down marker, though. So it's basically just going to be right back. Basically the same thing. Like Joe Burrow and T. Higgins got back all of the yards lost by the holding call, and now it's going to be 4th and 3. So I'm guessing they're going to go for it here because, are you not going to punt from here? You can't take a field goal. I mean, you could punt, but that's not what the Bengals do. And they got Joe Burrow coming out. Yeah, they're definitely gonna go for it here. No, I'd be shocked if they don't. They're at the 44-yard line. They got 3 yards to go. Shotgun snap. Joe Burrow rolls back and he's looking around. Throws caught. No, it's dropped by Chase Brown. So the Bengals are not going to convert. Cowboys are going to get this in good field position. So. After the turnover, the Bengals offense is not able to finish the job, unfortunately, that's just so Bengals, right? We've been talking all year about how the defense has basically made it so that the Bengals can't make one freaking mistake. But I will say it has seemed to be the case also that when the defense does actually do something, the offense has a tendency to do nothing with the opportunity. That has been also kind of the hallmark of this team. It's not just the defense has been very, very bad. The defense has been horrendously bad, but every once in a while, the defense does something interesting, and then the offense chooses. It feels like that's the moment where they, can go have like a 3 and out or something. That's not what happened here, but damn, man, that's tough to swallow. Do you know when we're collabing yet? Not to be pushy. No, you're not being pushy, Mikey. I actually think it's good that you're asking me. It's good that you're asking me. Because that's the only way we're able to keep up. Like it'd be better if we could talk about it on a separate platform. Like Like if you have like a Twitter or something, you DM me, or a Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky. I know like me and your mom talked about things on Facebook one time, but I don't know if like at this point maybe you're a little older, maybe you have your own social media or something. But if you could like DM me somehow somewhere, that'd be the best place to talk about it. And I don't mind talking about it on here, but just for the going through all the logistics and planning might be easier if I'm not in the middle of a stream, right? So, but I mean my thoughts on it right now. I mean we could do that. We could do that pretty soon if you want. I got a few projects that I need to get done over the break. So I don't know. That might be something we can do relatively soon if you want. Might be a good idea just to kind of test the waters and see how we work. That might be a good idea. I don't know. But like I said, DM me and we'll come up with the time. That might be something that'd be good to go ahead and get doing here relatively soon. I think I said once I'm out of school, but I'm starting to ramp the channel back up now. So if I'm ready to do that, I might as well, and I'm going to be doing live streams anyway. Yeah. The way I tend to do live streams, I don't do StreamYard, by the way. StreamYard is ridiculous. I do everything through OBS, and I'll show you how we do it. I think I might have had you on one time through that. I don't remember, but it's pretty simple. And it's really simple for you. It's a lot less simple for me, but really simple for you. All right, so from the 46-yard line, looks like Cooper Rush is going to toss the ball to Rico Dowdle, and he picks up about 4 yards where he is tackled. They were looking at it, but interception stands. That's true. Yoshi. Yeah, well, Yoshi didn't do anything, John. The Bucks were on upset alert till the end. Weird. Burrow could have ran for it. Maybe. But, I think he saw an opportunity to try to take it. Buccaneers almost lost. Sounds like it. I didn't actually watch the game. 2nd and 5. From the 49-yard line, Cooper Rush fakes the handoff to Rico Dowdle, rolls back, throws, and he's caught because Mike Hilton isn't in good position there. And, dude, Mike Hilton today has just not been having a good game. Not great. Not great for Mike Hilton today, which is unfortunate because Mike Hilton has been one of the more reliable guys we have on defense this year. Dude, Trey Hendrickson was getting held to hell and back on that play. Like, how did they not call that? He was getting mugged. Oh, man. 4-point game for a while? That's what I understand. 1st and 10. Cooper Rush hands the ball off to Rico Dowdle, who just flies past a bunch of Bengals players, and one of the safeties, I didn't see who it was, attempts to tackle him and just gets thrown off. And I think it might have been Jordan Battle. Holy crap. What kind of tackling attempt was that? That was just pathetic. Good God. I think I see now why Jordan Battle wasn't starting at the beginning of the season. He's been awful this year, dude. He's been shit. He's been absolute dog shit. Oh, my God. Defense. From the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. I do have an email. I'll put it in the chat here in a second. So that's the handoff to Rico Dowdle, and the Bengals only let him get 1 yard on that play. So that's, that's nice. Maybe they could do that more. That was Ezekiel Elliott, actually. We got an Ezekiel Elliott sighting. I didn't realize he was back on the Cowboys, honestly. All right, so it's the for this channel, I have a business email. It's wttjshow@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat here in a second. Yeah, just use that email address to contact me for show-related purposes. Cooper Rush throws short to number 87 there, who breaks past, I think it looks like 2 Bengals tackles, and only picks up like 3 yards, but holy crap, can we tackle somebody ever? Luke Shoemaker again. So there's the business email there. I've got a personal email that I'd rather not give out on the show. I got the business email there for the show. And then I've also got I got an email I use for my freelancing. But if you're contacting me for show related purposes, use that one. All right, 3rd and 5. Cooper Rush takes a shotgun snap. Rolls back, steps up a little bit, and throws, and that's a good job there by, it looks like, Josh Newton to coverage on that play. 4th and 5, so the Cowboys are going to have to settle for a field goal. Yep. Yeah, Mikey, just go ahead and email me there, and anybody else, if you want to contact me outside of the show, like I said, probably your best bet. Well, I don't know, actually. I was going to say your best bet is probably to DM me on like Twitter or something like that, but maybe not, or Blue Sky or something like that. You could get me on Facebook, but Facebook's a pain in the ass if you're not already mutual friends. So 4th and 5, kick is up, and that is good. So the Cowboys take a 10-7 lead. But yeah, if y'all want to contact me for any reason about the show, just contact me through that email is probably the best way to reach me. You can also DM me, and I'll probably get back to you. If I don't, just, say something in the chat. Like, hey, Kyle, I tried to DM you. Can you get back to me? I check my Twitter DMs pretty frequently, but, sometimes I don't. Especially lately, just with the whole climate, it's just quite toxic, and I don't like being on Twitter as much as I used to. My dad said he thinks Mike Hilton is done, and I don't know if I think Mike Hilton's done, but he's having a bad game. Just like Von Bell and Sam Hubbard. Yeah, Von Bell and Sam Hubbard might be done. But Mike Hilton, I think Mike Hilton's been fine this year, but, it's just some bad stuff. Mikey, you said you emailed me? Let's see. I'm not obviously going to respond to it right now, but let me make sure that I got it. Am I on the right one? No, that's my personal. Nothing interesting going on there. All right. Yeah, I got your email, Mikey. Is Mikey your middle name? That's a long name you got there, Mikey. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So okay, all right. After the game, I'll probably email you back after the game. I'm not gonna get super into it tonight, but just to make sure that I email you back. I'll probably email you back at some point. Mikey's your nickname, so that's not even your name. Like, your name's not Mike or Mikey or Michael or anything like that. Like, your middle name isn't that. Interesting. Well, if I don't want to put your identity out there or whatever, so I'm not gonna say it live unless you put it out yourself. But you got your what appears to be your first name is my dad's middle name. Interesting. I've never seen anybody else in my life with that name that I actually personally know. Obviously there's people out there, but I mean that's a unique name. That's an interesting name. All right, but yeah, I will email you back at least just to touch base with you after the game. I probably am not gonna do a whole lot of correspondence tonight, because I'm probably gonna work on a few things and go to bed. But I'll make sure I email you back at some point tonight just to make sure that we connect, and then we'll probably talk about it over the next week or so. All right, so we're back, and the Cowboys are kicking the ball back to the Bengals, and that is going to be returned by Khalil Herbert. He gets it to the 20, to the 30, to the 35, and he gets tackled about the 36-yard line. That's not a bad kickoff return there at all. One of the reasons I was actually kind of happy to see the Bengals trade for Khalil Herbert is because that was actually a guy who I very much was high on in that draft class. I think it was a 21 draft class, if I recall correctly. But I was real high on Khalil Herbert. And I liked Khalil Herbert because I thought he'd be a pretty solid running back to pair with Joe Mixon. But I also thought that he would be a really, really, really good kick returner. So it's nice to see that the Bengals have him out there returning kicks, especially with Charlie Jones on IR and everything like that. I'm happy to see him out there. Hopefully he can make more of an impact though, because that'd be real good. Chase Brown takes the handoff and he dances out of one tackle, but not really a whole lot else there. Absolutely horrendous run blocking. You got a Christmas play on Saturday. All right. Are you in a Christmas play? It's interesting. That's pretty cool, Mikey. 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7. We got 5:45, 44, 43, 42, 41 left to go for sinking purposes. And Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, throws, and it's T. Higgins had it, and he it just bounced off him and went backwards. Dude, T. Higgins just he ain't going to be on this team much longer, I can tell you that. Because, he's been having a good enough season that another team will pay him next year. But he has not been having a good enough season, availability-wise and consistency-wise for the Bengals to want to pay him next year. So, T. Higgins is gone. I just pray to God he doesn't end up on the Steelers. I've been hearing a lot of Steelers fans, fantasizing about getting him on their team. And I just, please, for the love of God, don't do that to me. Joe Burrow steps up out of the pocket. He rolls and he throws. He's got, there you go, Andre Yoshivas. There's your boy, John. And he gets it down to about the 41, or more like the 39-yard line. That's a pretty good play there. Joe Burrow turns something, or gets something out of nothing on that play. Yeah, Yoshi ended up kind of cutting back on his route a little bit there, and that was a great decision because he ended up with a lot of room to run there. Well, not a lot of room, but a decent amount of room to run there. So from looks like actually the 38.5-yard line is where they ended up putting that down. In the pistol formation, Joe Burrow fakes the handoff to Chase Brown. He rolls back, he throws in the face of pressure, and he's got Jamar Chase. That was a very high throw, but Jamar Chase was wide open, so it wasn't, didn't have to do a whole lot to bring that one in. Bengals offense is moving again. I'm happy Darren Rizzi is doing stuff Dennis Allen never did. Dude, the Saints could be a team to pay attention to. I don't think the Saints are going to make the playoffs, but the Saints could be a really dangerous spoiler team, heading into the rest of the season. Interestingly enough, because that I think Dennis Allen was really holding them back. I really do. What's up, Richard? Get to you in a second here. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Joe Burrow. He throws it short. That's Mike Gesicki? Yes, that's Mike Gesicki. And he picks up about 6 yards after, the catch and run, and pretty much just kind of fell after that. But he fell forward, which works out. Man, that Sunday Bills-Rams game, dude, that game was interesting, Richard. I quite enjoyed watching that game. That was an example of a really interesting, fun football game. Since when did the Bills turn into the Bengals? I also said that. I also said it just felt like the Bills were just pulling an awful Bengals type of game, right? Joe Burrow throws it short to Chase Brown. There you go. He gets past the line, and he might have gotten in for the touchdown there. I'm not sure if he got pushed out of bounds or not. I think they're saying he got pushed out of bounds. Chase Brown thought he got a touchdown, and he was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna go celebrate. And he was like getting ready to celebrate. And he gets over to do the celebration, and no, he stayed in bounds. The ball might have gone out of bounds. The ball actually might have gone out of bounds. So I think the refs are saying he stepped out of bounds, which he didn't. But maybe that ball comes out you're at the goal line basically, right? I think you're coming out just at the goal line there. Hard to say the way the refs will put that, but I mean he did not. I think the refs were saying that he stepped out of bounds, and he did not in fact step out of bounds. So that looks pretty clear to me. But I also don't think that he got in the end zone there. I think the ball probably came out. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the refs say. I think you could really kind of go either way with it. It's going to be hard to really say it, though, because it was not ruled a touchdown on the field. That next angle there. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be close because they did rule it. I think they ruled him out of bounds, like stepping out of bounds on the field. I think they ruled that on the field. So I mean, there's one angle there that kind of makes you think maybe, I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to tell. So I mean, the thing is, like, for them to overturn it, it's got to be clear and undeniable evidence. And even if they do say he didn't step out, I don't know if that's going to be enough to give him the touchdown, but, we'll see. 6 touchdowns and still lose. Who does that? The Bengals. That's what you said at the end of your comment. That's fair, Richard. First time, says the hanging Bengals fan. That's true. Yep, that's what I was saying on Twitter. That's like, I mean, a bunch of people were like, and I was like, man, that's awful Bengals of you, ain't it, Bills? I watched that game and I was just like, I don't know what was up with the Bills defense in that game, but holy crap. Like, holy crap. I'd say how you lose like that, but my team's been doing it all year, so whatever. Yoshi did something there, John. He didn't earlier. You got excited earlier, and he didn't actually do anything, but that last play was pretty cool. Yoshi seems like he's got like 1, maybe 2. Usually it's just 1. Yoshi's got like 1 play a game where it's just like, dude, that Yoshi, yep, he's showing up. He's doing something cool. And then the whole rest of the game, he basically does nothing. Might get like 1 more catch. Maybe a couple more catches, but none of them are interesting. But he always has like 1 play every game that's just like, dude, Yoshi, that's something else, I think the Bengals were kind of hoping to turn him into like a T. Higgins replacement, and I think there's no chance of that happening. But, a real nice gadget player. I think Yoshi's a real nice gadget player. Defense need not apply. They do, though. Look, I mean, the Bengals are a great example. Defense needs to show up, and they don't. Rumor has it that North Carolina's interviewed Belichick for their head coach position. They fire one 73-year-old man to hire another. I have my doubts, but what say you? I don't know anything about North Carolina's program, Jay. NFL coaches going to college never seems like it. I don't think NFL like people act like NFL coaches and college coaches can be interchangeable at different levels, and they just generally can't. All right, so here's the extra point attempt, by the way. Ryan Recal, kick is up, and that one's good. Ryan Recal, it's Cade York. What am I thinking? All right, Bengals take the 14-10 lead, 3:30 left in the half. And hopefully the defense can keep that intact, be real nice. Or if they're going to let him score, at least do it quickly so that the Bengals offense can go get another fucking score. Because that's really honestly the way we have to think about these things. All right. Bengals got the ball first, so you really don't want the Cowboys to double up. I mean, that's the main thing. Giants paid a model to flash Saints players, okay, and they think it was Tommy DeVito. That's funny. Like that's funny, honestly. Like if that's like I can see some people getting like offended by that, but that's funny. That's like honestly funny. That's hilarious. I don't know anything about the transfer portal, so that's tricky for Bill to learn. Yeah, that's my thing, Richard. There's a lot of things that are different between college and the NFL, and it typically does not work out. It can, as Mikey's saying here. Jim Harbaugh went to college and did great. Now he also went to his alma mater. There was a lot more going on there than just a simple like NFL to college transfer. And don't forget, Jim Harbaugh was originally a college coach at Stanford. So it's not like he didn't have a lot of experience at the college level like Bill Belichick honestly doesn't. I mean Bill Belichick, great coach, right? But like it's a touchback, by the way, on the kickoff. I worry, though, to some extent that the game might have passed Bill Belichick up. And also, Bill Belichick's style of coaching, I just don't know if that translates to the NFL very well, or to the college very well, right? And then I honestly can't say I know too much about North Carolina. So, like, transferring one 73-year-old to hire another, like, I have no idea what to tell you about that. I don't really have much of an opinion because I just don't know, right? But... And I guess, I don't know. Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, rolls back, throws, and that was a terrible throw. that was relatively harmless, but it was closer to being intercepted than it was anywhere near his guy. A terrible throw by Cooper Rush. Works out for the Bengals though. Jim Harbaugh went to college, and he went back and forth too. That's part of Jim Harbaugh's thing. Is he Stanford, went to the NFL, did pretty well in the NFL, then went back to college. Again, he wasn't new to college. He went back to college, did well there, and now he's doing pretty well with the Chargers. So I think Jim Harbaugh is just like a really good coach in general. 2nd and 10. It's gonna be a handoff to, is that Rico Dowdle? That's about a 4-yard pickup, maybe 3. So Bengals defense doing okay on this drive. Can you finish it off here? It's going to be 3rd and 6, so I think they did call that 4-yard gain. Saints fans lost because they got distracted by the OF. She was a double agent. Well, I mean, quite literally, because if she was paid by Tommy DeVito, right? 3rd and 6. Come on, defense. And the Bengals are pointing. Yep, that's a false start. False start by the Cowboys. So that's going to help. But you still got to finish off the drive. Still got to finish this off and, holding nothing here. And maybe the Bengals can get a little bit of a double up, right? If the Bengals can get a little bit, I mean, they're not going to double up, but if they can get the ball back, then they got a chance to, go get some points before the half. And then, they can take, a 2-score lead. And so if, the Cowboys end up getting a touchdown, then, blah, 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 blah. Y'all know how it works, right? But, hey, it's 3rd and 11. From the 28-yard line, Cooper Rush rolls back, and he is sacked, taken down. There you go, Joseph Osai. Bengals defense comes through. That's nice to see. I don't know why they can't do that more this year, but whatever. Hey, look. Like I said, at halftime, I'm going to, explain. I don't want to talk about it too much now because I don't want to get on a roll and then, get, caught up by, I have to get off track by the game. But at halftime, I'm going to talk about tanking. Tanking is fucking stupid, right? Tanking is absolutely fucking stupid. And honestly, I'm going to talk about tanking, and, this can be like, a little bit of, we'll see how this does, right? I'm going to talk about tanking at halftime, and then you guys can send your comments and stuff, and we can have a whole discussion about tanking. And then I'm going to because I'm recording this right now, and I can go in and I can basically rip out the I can basically rip out the part where I'm talking about tanking and turn that into its own standalone video on the channel. So that's a idea I've been playing around with to try to get more content on this channel while still, kind of doing the live streams, which seems to be, the most popular thing that we do here. So that's, I think, what we're going to talk about. And then we can use that as a little bit of an experiment to see if that type of video works out well, right? There was a plane that went over the field that said the Giants were a dumpster fire. They are. Which they are. They honestly are. Anyone watching the Simpsons broadcast? No. Well, obviously I'm not. I didn't even realize there was a Simpsons broadcast. That's kind of funny. I know the whole Homer's a Cowboys fan and Bart's a Bengals fan, and okay, which is fun. When I found out that the Simpsons had Bart was Bart was the coolest kid on the planet when I was a kid. I was like, yeah, Bart Simpson. That guy's something else. So when I found out he was a Bengals fan when I was older, I was like, let's go. Kyle's secretly watching the Simpsons broadcast. Well, I can't. Even if now that I know that that's a thing, I don't even know how I would find it just because of the options I have available to me for watching these games. But even if I could find it, I wouldn't be able to have the sound. So what would be the point of watching the Simpsons broadcast? So hey, I mean, if I could find it, maybe there's some cool visuals or something. I don't know, but no, unfortunately, Nick. By the way, thank you for showing up, Nick. Appreciate you. But no, unfortunately, I don't even know how to find the Simpsons broadcast. Don't forget, y'all, I don't have TV. I own a TV, but we watch Netflix and Hulu and stuff on it. Right? I have a smart box like an NVIDIA Shield that we like watch like streaming services and stuff on it. But like I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV. I watch YouTube. Like when I sit back and relax, like and I just kind of like want to watch something. I typically watch YouTube. Might watch Hulu or Disney Plus or something like that. We don't have Disney Plus right now, but but I don't have TV. So, I gotta be real creative with how I watch these games. And, yeah. Alright. So, the Cowboys are going to punt now, 4th and 20. And with, it's going to be returned by 18 there, who gets tackled from behind. That was almost a horse collar, but I think they got him underneath the shoulder there. Number 18, who is that again? The Bengals got all these, like, Isaiah Williams, yeah. The rookie out of Illinois. The Bengals got like a couple of players on the team that are just like these random pickups they've had throughout the year, and I have no idea who they are. You mean you don't switch to Nickelodeon Slime Time during the Super Bowls every year? I don't. Yeah, I mean I've always kind of wanted to watch the Nickelodeon Super Bowl broadcast, but again I don't have TV, so I'm not able to, unfortunately. I've always kind of wanted to though. I was really disappointed though. To find out, like, they started doing that. I would have loved to have that when I was a kid. Like, where was that when I was a kid, man? Joe Burrow throws over the middle. He's got Jamar Chase dancing around, and he picks up a first down. There you go. There you go. And 137, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32 left to go in the half. Bengals do have all 3 timeouts. So just put some points up on the board. That'd be real nice. That'd be really nice. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, throws over the middle. He's got Yoshi. There's Yoshi again, John. That's only about a 5-yard pickup, though. So that's what I'm talking about. Yoshi has like one big play every game, and sometimes he has like a couple other catches. But hey, you got some Yoshi in there. I heard Homer scored on the Bengals. Not really surprising. Dude, everybody scores on the Bengals. Joe Burrow takes a shotgun snap, rolls back, throws, and he's got Jamar Chase, who did a really good job of getting rid of his man there. That's another Bengals first down with 52 seconds left, and I'm guessing the Bengals are taking their first time out there. Saints won. Carr is in the shop again. Oh, barely, and Carr is in the shop again. Yep. At this point in the season, though, honestly, like, dude, I'm almost to the point where I'm like, maybe we just shut Joe Burrow down. If we, I get why they're not doing it right now, because like if the playoffs are still a possibility, you got to fight as hard as you can and try to get there. Again, we'll talk about tanking at halftime. I have my thoughts, but I mean, if the playoffs are there, then you gotta go for it, right? You could never look at your players in the eye ever again if you don't take every opportunity you can to get to the playoffs, even if it's a long shot, right? If the Bengals win, I think I saw Joe Goodberry post on Twitter. If the Bengals win all the rest of their games and they finish 9-8, then they still only have a 20% chance of making the playoffs. They still need a pretty decent amount of help to make the playoffs in that scenario. But 20% is still a it's not the worst chance in the world, right? And so it's still worth fighting for to see if you can do it. And yeah, so but I mean I will say, like, if the playoffs are off the table, maybe shut Joe Burrow down. He's had enough injuries in his career that maybe we don't need to, like run him into the ground too much. Then again, Joe Burrow's not going to want to do that. Joe Burrow's going to want to go out there and play as much as he possibly can, which is you got to make your executive decisions there, but Carr out for a while probably. I mean, honestly, I just shut him down for the season. No point in bringing Derek Carr back right now, right? I mean, unless you guys really do just win all the rest of your games, and then in which case, maybe you can go make the playoffs or something, and then maybe you can see if you can bring Derek Carr back at that point, right? But like, if not, just shut him down. Like he's too valuable to like risk for what's probably going to be a lost season, right? Malik Neighbors denies any involvement with the aircraft flying near MetLife Stadium. I didn't buy the plane, he said. That is funny. That is funny. Yeah, that's I don't know who bought that plane, but they're a legend and a hero, and they are a true American genius who deserves to be on a Budweiser commercial. We need a rocket power game. We do, Jeff. Dude, we definitely need a rocket power game. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Patrick, roasting Russell Wilson live on television in that one Nickelodeon game is legendary. But dude, we got to get Otto in there. Being like, yeah. Rocket power, absolutely. I would be totally down to see a rocket power game. Bama missed the playoffs. Yeah, Bama fans are pretty pissed about it too, but, get over it. Joe Burrow throws it up for Jamar Chase, and he had him, but that got knocked away by Trayvon Diggs. And Jamar Chase is taking responsibility for it, but it looked to me like that was just a great play by Trayvon Diggs. So, all right. We can't shut down any players if they're healthy enough. Now, you can pretend they're not healthy, though. Well, okay, so maybe that actually was more so Jamar Chase's fault, because Trayvon Diggs was... Jamar probably could have caught that, to be fair. Okay. It looked like he knocked it away, but that was, in the, the speed and the angle that I had. But on the replay, yeah, maybe Jamar Chase could have caught that. It's going to be a short dump off to Chase Brown, and he gets out of a lot of pressure there. And he could have had like a 4-yard loss, ends up getting about a 2-yard gain. So it's not the greatest play in the world, but that could have been a disaster, and he made it work. So that's a, I'll take that out of Chase Brown there. I really will. Keep that clock winding down. 37 seconds left. The Bengals have 3rd and 7. So, I mean, I don't know why they took a timeout there. Like, I'd run it down a little bit more. I would run it down a little bit more because if you're going to have to settle for a field goal, you don't want to give the Cowboys any time, right? And I know it's Cooper Rush, but it's also our defense, So I would just not leave anything to chance, honestly. The Rams game last week is killing me. Which one, Mikey? Did y'all play the Rams last week? Is that right? Y'all didn't play the Rams last week, did you? I'll look in a second. Joe Burrow's in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap, rolls back on 3rd and 7, throws it way too high. What the hell was that? He could have had Jamar Chase there, man. At least for a first down, but whatever. 34 seconds left. Now you're going to kick a field goal, and perhaps you get the field goal, and great. But, that's 34 seconds that the Cowboys can go down the field, and with our defense, it almost feels inevitable that they will. Oh, yeah, y'all did play the Rams. 21-14. Interesting. It's killing me. Why is it killing you? I mean, it was a close game. Probably could have won, but unfortunately didn't. All right, so Cade York coming out for the extra point attempt. I'm sorry, for the field goal attempt. 37-yard field goal attempt, and he knocks that one through. And that's not the cleanest one of all time I've ever seen, but it goes through. 17-10, and hopefully with 30 seconds left to go in the half, and hopefully we can head into halftime with that score. Do the thing, defense, please. It's in the Blood is live. That's cool, John. Might go say hi to them at halftime. Although I did say I was going to talk about something at halftime, so we'll see. But I did go check out It's in the Blood's channel the other day. They were doing some sort of live stream on like a Tuesday or something like that. I can't remember, but I went and checked them out for a little bit. I like what they're doing. Pretend to be hurt like they do in the NBA. Yeah, don't do that, Jeff. That's weak. Nobody likes that. In the NBA, you get fined for not playing certain games. Do you? You get fined for not playing? Like, what if you're hurt? That's interesting. Boo, Rams. Feel that. 21-14. If we won, we would be one game behind first. Yeah, that is rough. Who's the kicker now? We got Cade York is our kicker now. Ed McPherson, I think, is on IR. I think Evan McPherson's on IR, if I'm right about that. So that goes through the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Cowboys ball with 30 seconds left to go in the half. Just keep them out of field goal range, honestly. Like, please, defense, do the frickin' thing. They can, but new to me. Yeah, we just picked them up. Cade York, like Evan McPherson. I want to say went on IR. I can't remember, but yeah, we picked up Cade York in the. He was just a free agent floating around. And we needed somebody to fill in for Evan McPherson, who was hurt. All right, Cooper Rush takes a shotgun snap. He had Trey Hendrickson on him, but he gets the ball off quickly, and that's going to be about a 5-yard pickup. Josh Newton ends up pushing him out of bounds. That was number 40 who got the pass. And I don't know who that is. Hunter Luepke. Hunter Luepke. Nick Vigil is on the Cowboys. Dude, Nick Vigil is all over. Every once in a while, we keep running into Nick Vigil, and I'm like, what? How does that guy keep getting work? I cannot imagine. Great play there by Jermaine Pratt to break up a pass that would have been a first down on 3rd and 5. And that is the type of defense that we like. That used to be their bread and butter, was doing stuff like that. That was try to get Luke Shoemaker. Probably could have intercepted that, but at least he knocked it down. That's the type of defense that we used to have on this team. And like, man, I mean, I know it's up against Cooper Rush, but it's just nice to see them playing like that, you know? Like, good God. It gives me some hope that maybe they can fix it next year, you know? Maybe. I don't know if Lou Anarumo is going to be the guy who fixes it, though, because part of the problem is, like, I think Lou Anarumo's scheme is broken, and I don't think he knows how to build a new one. Cooper Rush takes a shotgun snap. He gets flushed out of the pocket, overthrows his man, and that is going to be 4th and 5. Cowboys almost certainly going to be forced to punt here, and the defense holds with 15 seconds left. So, yeah, I can't imagine they're not going to punt here. 15 seconds left. Great job by the defense, and they're doing all right today. They are doing all right today. Nice job there by Isaiah Wilson. Is that the guy's name? The Bengals cornerback who they just recently signed or something like that. All right, punt is away, and Marco Wilson, by the way, and that's going to be returned. There's a flag immediately on the return. Not sure what's going on with that. It looks like they're calling in on the Cowboys, or maybe, I don't know. They're definitely they're going to call block in the back on the Bengals. No, that's fine. Whatever. We'll just kneel on it. There's only 3 seconds left anyway. Illegal block in the back on the Bengals. Yep. So just come out, kneel on it, and we gonna be fine. It's all good. Cade York went to LSU. I know. Wasn't he the kicker on that national championship team? I feel like he was. I feel like Cade York was their kicker that year. Yeah, he was the kicker during the 2019 national championship. So, interesting. I don't necessarily. It's almost kind of unfortunate timing because like I don't necessarily want to give up on Evan McPherson. He hasn't had the best year, but also maybe he's been hurt, and I guess we're just not even going to do the play. So we're going to halftime now. All right. Well, that's the end of the quarter. Bengals hold a 17-10 lead over the Cowboys, and the defense has actually been all right today. So maybe they can keep that up, and maybe the Bengals can get away with a win here. Bengals are currently on pace to be very near the score projection I had for them. So I mean, it's quite possible we could end up. The Cowboys will definitely need to step it up, though. The Cowboys. To get to the score prediction I had, the Cowboys will need to get 25 points in the second half, which the way their offense played in the first half does not seem like a really realistic idea. But the Bengals could definitely get to near 38, if not all the way to 38. It's quite possible. Like the Bengals putting up, what would that be, 20 points or 21 points in the second half, totally realistic. They could do that. The Cowboys putting up 25 points, however, maybe less realistic. Just based off the way this game's gone. Need you to score 3 field goals and them to score 3 field goals. Okay. I'm fine with that deal, Mikey. I don't care. I mean, the Bengals would win in that case, right? And I want the Bengals to win. And not tank, which that we're at halftime now, so I'll go ahead and talk about that. There are so many LSU players in the NFL. Yeah, dude, because that 2019 LSU team was unbelievable. And then also LSU in general has just kind of been a powerhouse that sent dudes to the NFL like consistently. It ain't just that 2019 team. I mean, obviously like Jaden Daniels is doing really well and stuff, right? Load management, aka rest, is a thing in the NBA due to the schedule due to the schedule makers booking teams in back-to-back games. Coaches will sit star players to freshen them up for significant games. Yep. And you're not going to get that in the NFL, right? Because, I mean, you got, like, you know, like at most, you're going to have, like, a game, and then you'll have another game 4 days. Well, maybe most likely 4 days later. So if you play Sunday and then you'll play again on Thursday, theoretically you could play on Monday and then play again on Thursday, but I don't think they would ever actually schedule that. People would be really mad about that. So, load management, not as much of a thing in the NFL because they get like a week of rest most of the time. Yeah. And plus, part of it's like you get like, 70, 80 something games in the NBA. So it's like, in the NBA, every game is not obviously every game's important in every sport. You want to win every single game. But in the NBA, you've got so many games that you're going to lose some of them. And so, don't worry as much about losing a few here and there, right? I am seeing the Homer Simpson throwing that touchdown to CeeDee Lamb there, by the way, now. So maybe I am watching the Simpsons cast. I don't know. But yeah, load management just not really necessary in the NFL. I don't know how Eli Apple was on a team, but here we are. Dude, I wish he was still on the Bengals. I really do. I miss that fire he brought to the team. Like, and he wasn't great. He needs to be like your third string cornerback at most. But, I liked him. Kind of miss Eli Apple to some extent. Which I never thought I'd say for a while, but I did eventually get there. What's up, depressed Bengals fan? You are my spirit animal at the moment. I am also a depressed Bengals fan. Funny thing is I live over in Fort Worth. Boo. Indiana, right? Boo. So technically I could have driven like 25 minutes to go watch it live, but Bengals Cowboys with their records didn't seem like it's a close affair. Well, it's definitely a close affair. Bengals Cowboys, pretty evenly matched teams, I would say. Yeah, but definitely not the most interesting game of all time, for sure. Saints play Jaden Daniels on Sunday. Good luck with that. 82 games, right? That's what. Yeah, 82 games. You got to have some sort of load management when you're playing that many damn games. And also, you can afford to lose a game here or there. If you don't have your star player playing in every single game, that's fine because it's more about the aggregate than it is about every game. Like in the NFL, you get 17 games to show that you deserve a spot in the playoffs, and every one of those games is absolutely critical, right? Probably losing one game isn't going to kill you in the NFL. Like if you go 16-1, then you're fine, right? Like nobody's going 17-0, most likely. So you're almost certainly you're going to be fine if you lose one game, right? But if you lose two games, if you lose three games, that's a big deal, right? And you're almost certainly probably going to be in a situation where you're like at best, three or four losses at the end of the season. So the difference between 13-4 and 12-5 could be the difference between a playoff bye. The difference between 10-7 and 9-8 could be the difference between making the playoffs. And unfortunately, it might be for the Bengals, but that would be assuming the Bengals even get to 9-8, which seems super unlikely. But we'll see, maybe. We're 5-20. Fire? Pelicans? More like dog water. Okay. Don't really follow the NBA, but Tatum is from St. Louis, so go Celtics, I guess. Yeah, I don't really, I had my NBA team, and they, moved in 2008, and I did not feel interested in keeping up with them after that. I don't like it when teams move. So, rest in peace, Sonics. And then outside of that, I just don't really have any real rooting interest. I mean, when LeBron James went to Miami, I thought that was funny, so I rooted for the Heat for a while. I rooted for the Timberwolves for a while because I really like Karl Anthony Towns, but they never really did anything, so I don't know. And then I like the Celtics because I've always had a thing for Boston as a city. But it doesn't really do a whole lot for me because it's not like I spent my whole life as a Celtics fan, right? So, I also don't like the Lakers, so it feels like the Celtics are a natural team to kind of appreciate, right? The Raptors, because I thought they had cool uniforms when I was a kid, so the Raptors are a team that I kind of sort of fuck with a little bit. But I'm really agnostic when it comes to the NBA. Like I just don't really care. I keep up with it. I like watching it. I keep up with it to some extent, but I don't care about a team necessarily. I've tried, but I lost my Sonics. I feel like I'd be the same way in the NFL. If the Bengals ever moved, I don't know if I'd be able to pick another team, and I might pick teams here and there, but I'm not gonna. It's hard to stick with it. Oh, Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, that's better. I don't know anything about Fort Worth, Texas, but it's not Fort Worth, Indiana. I'm thinking of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. I don't have any problem with Fort Worth, Texas. You're all good, Richard. Taysom out for the season. It's rough. That is rough. All right, so my thoughts on tanking. Okay, so I don't understand why people think that tanking is a good idea at all. Tanking is just... The problem with tanking is that you have this idea that you're going to get a better draft pick because you lose more games, right? And that's just ridiculous to me. You might get a better draft pick. You also might not get the draft pick you want, right? But yeah, you might get a better draft pick. Okay, whatever. But if you're in this position in the first place, it's probably because you haven't drafted that well up to this point. So just because you get a better draft pick doesn't mean you're going to get a better player. People pick guys later in the rounds all the time who end up being better than half the guys who were picked in the first 10 picks because, in a lot of cases, these guys don't know how to develop, My thing is you have nothing to play for. But the players do, Mikey. Yes, okay, I get as a fan. You're thinking, especially, and I'll bring that up here in a second, but especially as a fan, I can understand to some extent you're thinking, I kind of want my team to tank at this point because it feels like maybe we at least get something out of the season. But I mean, you can't think like that because you have to think about it from a team building perspective, and not just we'll go get a better draft pick perspective. You have to think about the players who are on the team. Yeah, some of them aren't going to be on your team next year, but the vast majority of them will be on the team next year. And how can you go look your players in the face if you're just hey, we're going to go intentionally lose? That's not how these guys are wired. The players are not going to agree to tank. And if you sabotage them, they're never going to listen to you ever again. If you're tanking... Then if you're tanking, that means that you're almost certainly completely cleaning house with the coaching staff because they'll never trust that coaching staff ever again if they intentionally throw games. Which, if you're in the position of tanking, then maybe you're considering firing your coaching staff anyway. But even then, that might not be enough because they might not trust the organization after that. Because they're like, oh, dude, I get 10 years in the NFL, and you're telling me that I'm spending half of one of the seasons I get. And actually, honestly, most of these guys get I think it's on average, players end up in the NFL for 3 seasons. So, take your average NFL player, and you're telling him that he needs to give up one of the 3 seasons he has in the NFL for a better draft pick for a guy who's probably going to replace him next year. That's just absolutely insane to me. No way is that ever going to work. And all you're going to do is it's going to be depressing to watch. Nobody's going to be interested in watching that. At least if you're playing hard, then you can at least play the spoiler role and give people something interesting to watch at the end of the season. And that generates revenue and everything like that. And not to mention, if you're playing hard at the end of the season, then you can potentially go to free agents. And you can be like, look, I know we had a bad year, but in our case, we got Joe Burrow as our quarterback, all right? We got Jamar Chase. What more do you really want, okay? We got so much potential here. Yeah, we made a lot of mistakes, last year, and it kind of bit us in the ass, and, we're going to have to deal with that. But you as a free agent, did you see the way we played down the stretch? Yeah, it took us a while to get together last season, but We think you could be the difference for us next year. Instead of finishing, 8-9, maybe we finish 10-7 next year. Maybe we finish 11-6. Maybe we, just go absolutely incredible, right? And maybe you could be the difference. And that's a selling point that a lot of free agents might listen to. That's a way to get like incoming draft picks hyped up about your team because you're like, we're on the rise. You don't ever want to sell yourself as a team that's bottoming out to try to go get a better draft pick. You want to act like you're a team on the rise. Jags fan says, I like tanking. Like, you're a Jags fan. So, I'm sorry. But again, as a Jags do it every year, yeah. But, like, look, again, as a fan, I kind of get it. As a fan, you feel like, it's been a bust of a season. Maybe you can feel like you got something out of it. I get that, Especially, like, and I liken it sometimes, like, I feel like a lot of people think the NFL is basically just Madden, where it's just about the numbers, right? Like, you go get a better draft pick because then you can go get a really good guy, and then that might fix this numerical problem that you have on your team. People don't think about it from the human aspect. People don't think about it from the sales aspect. People don't think about it from the aspect of, like, you gotta basically, you gotta put your team out there, and you gotta do everything you can to try to win. And you only get so much time in the NFL, and it takes a while sometimes to build a winning strategy. So you can't take time off. You only get 17 games in a season to try to figure out the best way to do things. So you've got to put your full effort in every single game. I will say there's one exception. There's one exception to me. And this is kind of tenuous because you can't just tell your guys to tank. They're not going to agree to it. But the one exception I have is a few years ago, 2019. Bengals were awful. God, terrible. It seemed like there was no hope. But there was this quarterback who was tearing it up in college, just coming out of nowhere. His name was Joe Burrow. As the Bengals are about to kick it off here, by the way. And that is going to, an absolutely massive kick is going to just sail. That almost might have like gone into the stands, honestly. That was a massive kickoff. And it's going to be a touchback either way. But the Bengals, right, coming out of that season, 2019, you're going into that Dolphins game. It's the Tank Bowl. Whoever wins that game, whoever loses that game is probably getting the number 1 overall pick. You have the right to draft Joe Burrow, who is tearing it up in college right now. He could be the future of your franchise. So at that point, yeah, maybe if you can try to find a subtle way to lose that game, that's fair tanking, I think. Cooper Rush throws it to number 1 there, and it's just way overthrown. That wasn't even good defense. That was just bad quarterbacking by Cooper Rush. That works out, though. Number 1 is Jalen Tolbert. So yeah. That one game, the Tank Bowl with Miami. Maybe you root to lose that game. I get that one. But like tanking the whole end of the season is silly. It's just silly. Because look at the Jaguars. The Jags do it every year. And what does that get the Jags? They very rarely are ever competitive. They're just tanking all the time, Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, throws, and that is caught, actually. That was a nice catch there. It was a bad throw, but a nice catch by Brandon Cooks. There's a flag on the play, though. I think they're going to call pass interference on Josh Newton, and that's unfortunate and sad. We'll see what they actually call here, but I'm guessing that's probably going to be pass interference. Although I don't agree with that, actually. I don't know. Did they call pass interference or did they call holding? Because maybe holding, but definitely not pass interference. He didn't really inhibit him at all on that play. I don't agree. If that was I didn't see what they called there, but if that was pass interference, that was incorrect. That was completely incorrect. Not that it matters, but 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Okay, they called illegal contact. I guess that's fair. So that's going to be a run for Rico Dowdle, and he picks up about 3 yards on the run. So they called illegal contact on Josh Newton. That is fair. Okay, I thought they were calling pass interference, which is just not accurate at all. But it was illegal contact, and I think I agree with illegal contact. That's probably fair. So my thing is E. Okay, Mikey. Yeah, dude, tanking's stupid. In my opinion, tanking's stupid. I mean, All right, so that's going to be a handoff to the outside there for Turpin, actually, this time. On 2nd and 7, that's he gets about 4 yards there, so it's going to be 3rd and 3 now, and maybe he can get off the field here, defense. That'd be nice. Dennis Allen tanked when he won and apologized after wins. Yeah, it's not what we... I know what you're saying there, Mikey, but that's not quite what I'm saying. Dennis Allen tanked his career, maybe. All right, 3rd and 2, actually. They're saying it's 3rd and 2, so get off the field here, defense, please. For me. Pretty please. All right. Cooper Rush, shotgun snap. Gets a nice little rush there by Trey Hendrickson, but he gets out of pressure and he finds a man downfield. And that's going to be like a 20-yard gain because we cannot cover anybody ever on defense. Good God, I hate everything about this team. Or at least I hate everything about this defense. I really do. Except for Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson is a godsend and we don't deserve him. But everything else about this defense is just pathetic. It's absolutely fucking pathetic, dude. Yoshi. Players have too much pride to give half effort or take dives. The front office, however, won't put the best team on the field to play the long game with mixed results. Players have a small window for money. I don't entirely agree with that, Jay. And I'll explain why after this. It's going to be a fake handoff from Cooper Rush. He's going to throw it short to, I think, Shoemaker again. And it's going to be about an 8-yard pickup. Geno Stone was not covering that well at all. And what else is new? But again, you don't want to tank because if you have the potential to play spoiler at the end of the season, right? And it's not like draft picks get you money. But you know what does get you money is people watching your team. And if you play spoiler at the end of the year, then yeah. So I mean, maybe if your season's over, then you're being careful with guys' injuries and stuff like that. But you're not intentionally losing because you want to try to win all those games, and for owners, generate revenue by being a spoiler. All right. Oh my God, Rico Dowdle just blasts through the entire Bengals defensive line and picks up like 10 yards, and I swear to God. Why are we like this? Why are we like this? It is not halftime anymore, by the way. It is the 3rd quarter. What did I do to deserve this team? Really? Other than decide to be a fan of the team, I guess. But do I support tanking? I do not support tanking, Jags fan. I do not support tanking in any way, shape, or form. I think it is 99.7% of the time a bad idea. Cooper Rush hands the ball off. I think that's Ezekiel Elliott that time, and he picks up about 2 yards, which is roughly about half the distance to the goal. But no, I do not support. The only time I've ever supported tanking was, like I said, in the Tank Bowl, Toilet Bowl, whatever you want to call it, game between the Bengals and the Dolphins in 2019. That was one single game, and that was only because the Bengals were getting destroyed. And I'm like, you know what? Might as well just lose. It was a terrible season. Maybe you get Joe Burrow at the end of it. So for something like that, it's got to be that very unique situation where you've got like a generational player that you can get by losing this one game. And in that case, maybe I support tanking. But even then, selling it to your team is tough. Cooper Rush throws over the middle, and that is caught for a touchdown by number 3 there. Cowboys fans are celebrating. There's a flag on the play, though, and I'm hoping this is on the Cowboys, but it's probably on the Bengals. Especially the way they're celebrating. They don't seem to give a shit about that flag at all. Yep, it's holding on the Bengals. All right. Cowboys touchdown because our defense is just utter garbage. Utter garbage! Utter garbage! But, I mean, here's the thing. Like, are we going to fix this defense by tanking? No, we're not. If anything, we're going to destroy the confidence of guys like Josh Newton, who let a touchdown go on that play, but could eventually develop into somebody who's worth having around. Miles Murphy. He was a first-round pick for us, and he's been good enough, I think, to keep around as a member of the team. Maybe he's not going to be coming into any big money with us if he doesn't get his shit together, but good enough to continue on the team. Joseph Osai, another guy, as the extra point is good. Joseph Osai is another guy who I think, you could potentially develop long-term. Chris Jenkins is a guy who I think has been pretty good this year. He's potentially, you could develop him. You got these guys who, if you want to develop them, and to develop them, you have to make it feel worth it. Tanking is nobody's going to feel like it's worth it, Like I said, you get 17 games, and you're telling them to give up like 5 of those games so that you can go get a better draft pick. When, again, that draft pick might replace their job and is definitely going to replace the job of one of their friends on the team. Like it's silly. I as a fan did one time root for tanking in that Bengals Dolphins game, but I don't know if you can convince the guys to tank, right? I mean, and the Bengals almost screwed that up too, right? The Bengals, were getting destroyed by the Dolphins, and then they ended up like turning that around and taking it to overtime, and by a miracle, all of that momentum magically fell off in overtime because Andy Dalton was our quarterback, and frankly, that's how Andy Dalton kind of played for the Bengals all the time. So you got. Like, it's like I, as a fan at that point, that was a situation where I felt comfortable rooting for tanking. Because I'm like, this win isn't going to do anything for us. But a loss means we go get Joe Burrow. But again, it's got to be a generational type talent who you're basically guaranteed to get if you lose this game. So you got to be going for the number 1 overall pick first of all, right? Like you can't be taking any chances on tanking for like the number 5 versus the number 6 pick, right? You got to be going for the number 1 overall pick, or maybe going for the number 2 if you believe there are 2 generational players, right? But I mean, it's gotta be for that generational, like, once in a fucking whatever type of talent. And you gotta be going for, like, the number 1 pick, most likely. And if that's the case, and it's one single game, if it takes one game, we lose this one game, we don't have to tank the rest of the season, we just gotta lose this one game. Because y'all already lost all the rest of the games, might as well lose this one too, right? In that case, I think you can feel comfortable as a fan rooting for tanking. But I still don't think you can justify it to the players, though, because the players just aren't going to agree to tanking, right? So that's just how I feel about it. What am I talking about? I was talking about tanking, Jags fan. I mean, you were the one who was asking about it, right? Who dey? Yeah, well, us, stranger. Who dey think going to beat the Bengals? Themselves, always. The defense, the Bengals defense in particular. Pathetic. Jags drafted a couple Mizzou quarterbacks. They did. And I thought both of those quarterbacks were going to be pretty good. Turns out that was not the case. But I definitely thought those were going to be good quarterbacks. I actually Blaine Gabbert I wanted the Bengals to get back in the day, I believe. I think. Can't remember. I think it might have been Blaine Gabbert, yeah. All right, so that's going to be another touchback. Khalil Herbert kneels the ball. Illegal contact. It was illegal contact, yes. Chase Daniel and Bland Gabbert. It's Blaine Gabbert, yeah. Chase. I didn't realize Chase Daniel went to Mizzou. But yeah, Blaine Gabbert. I wanted the Bengals to draft Blaine Gabbert back in the day. We ended up getting Andy Dalton, which might have been better. I don't know. It's hard to say like how bad Blaine Gabbert was and how bad the Jaguars were just around him, because I think Blaine Gabbert went on to be an okay backup, right? So maybe he would have been better if he had gone to a different team, Kind of like Sam Darnold. Maybe if he hadn't gone to the Jets, it would have worked out better. Joe Burrow fakes the handoff. I believe that was Chase Brown, and he throws it up to Jamar Chase, who catches it out of the air and picks about 8 yards there. Nice play. I never want to tank, but I won't lie. I was happy we lost once to get the Burrow pick. That's what I'm saying. That's the one time that I personally am going to condone tanking because Joe Burrow was on the other side. It was that one game. We're not going to root for losing otherwise, but that one game, yes, I did root for tanking that one time, and I do not apologize for it either. 2nd and 2, Joe Burrow hands the ball off that time to Khalil Herbert, who has a nice little cutback there. That's good to see. Somebody on this team actually has some vision, and that actually was Chase Brown, by the way. So I was sitting there throwing shade at Chase Brown when it turns out Chase Brown is actually the one who made the play. But either way, he cuts back and gets a nice little first down there. So that's a good run there by Chase Brown. Good to see. We'll take Trey back. You can't have him back, Mikey. You are not allowed to have Trey Hendrickson back. He wouldn't go back to you guys. He requested a trade, and I think that was really just a negotiation tactic from Trey Hendrickson. But there is a possibility the Bengals don't pay him, and then he ends up on another team in the future. I don't think he'd go to the Saints, though. I really don't. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. He throws. It's caught by Jamar Chase over the middle. That's about a 5-yard pickup. About a 5-yard pickup, I think. Thank God I'm not watching. It's an interesting game to press the Bengals fan. This is, like, the Bengals defense is pissing me off, but from a neutral perspective, this is a pretty good game so far. Now, the stakes are very low. It's the Bengals and Cowboys who have very little left to play for, but I'd say just as a pure football game, it's a pretty good game so far. So, not too bad. Just like, might increase your heart rate quite a bit if you're a fan of the, Bengals in particular, watching that frickin' defense. All right, Joe Burrow fakes the handoff, rolls back, has to run out of pressure because Alex Kappa can't block apparently, and ends up throwing out of bounds because he just had too much pressure barreling down on him, couldn't find anybody open. I just checked my fantasy team and I'm losing by 60. They had Josh Allen. He scored 51 points. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Jags fan is back. Let's go. That was after he asked what I'm talking about. I was talking about tanking. That's what I was talking about, Jags fan, because that was the discussion we were having. Blaine Gabbert went to the same high school as me before me. Interesting. That's interesting. That's pretty cool, John. 3rd and 4. All right, come on. Come on, Joe. Shotgun snap. Rolls back. Good protection this time. Throws. And he's got Jamar Chase. There you go. First down. Down about the 38-yard line on the left side of the field. Jamar Chase is looking pretty good. He's been having a great season, and it's such a shame that we're 4-8 because, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow do not deserve to be 4-8. But the rest of the team kind of does, like Trey Hendrickson does not deserve to be 4-8, but every single other member of this team probably does deserve to be 4-8. Maybe Chase Brown doesn't. I don't know. He's been good. He just hasn't been as good as Chase and Burrow, right? All right, so that's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown, and he does a nice job of, breaking through that line. Can't get past him entirely. He does get taken down, but still picks up about 7 yards. Good run there. Chase Daniel play for us. Did he, Mikey? I did not remember that. I mean, I do remember Chase Daniel traveled a lot, so I'm not surprised that he played for the Saints. I just don't remember him being on the Saints. You didn't apologize. You can teach Dennis Allen that power for his next job. Yeah. Apologizing for scoring points is dumb. Even if you don't agree with it philosophically, running up the score, even if you disagree with that, you don't apologize for it. That's silly. Joe Burrow has to throw that ball in the dirt, and I don't even know what the hell happened on that play. Well, there's a timeout. I think, there's a flag. There's a flag on the play. I wonder if they're saying, false start here. Because they blew the play dead. Ineligible man downfield. What? You're going to replay 2nd down? Wasn't it 3rd down? He said replay 2nd down. It was 3rd down, wasn't it? I'm very confused. I think it was illegal formation, I think, not ineligible man downfield. It's so hard to tell when I don't have the sound. So it's 2nd and 9. I swear to God we were on 3rd down, but whatever. 2nd and 9. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap. Takes a snap, rolls back, throws over the middle, and oh my God, that is straight to a Cowboy that's intercepted. What the fuck are you doing, Joe? He wasn't even, what the hell even was that? He just straight up threw it to a Cowboy. He wasn't even, there was no pressure. Nobody was, on top of him. What the fuck was that, Joe? What? It looks like he was maybe trying to go for Jamar Chase, but he just completely misfired. What? What are you doing, Joe? Oh my God. Holy crap, what an awful throw by that one. That might be one of the worst throws I've ever seen Joe Burrow ever throw. He's not perfect. Sometimes he makes some bad throws, and that might have been up there among the worst I've ever seen from Joe Burrow. That was god-awful. What an awful throw by Joe Burrow. My other family, I live with their cousins in the NFL. Yeah. My brain's not translating that at all, Mikey. I'm sorry. My dad went to the same high school as Jason Tatum and Tkachuk. Brady and Matthew play hockey in the NHL. I'm not sure who Brady and Matthew are. Jason Tatum and Matthew Chuck. Oh, he's a hockey player. Okay. I think I graduated the same year as me in 27. Oh, so was there like a Brady Chuck? Was there a Brady and then a Matthew? Sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. But I'm guessing there were two brothers who went by those names or something like that. I don't know anything about the NHL. I'm sorry. Tachuk. Interesting. Tachuk. There's a lot of consonants in there. That's all I'm saying. There's like an extra K. Well, actually, I guess there's only one extra K. But so the K is silent. Interesting. I could have been in their classes if I went to Camondale, or like Chaminade, Chaminade maybe, Chaminade or Caminade, one of the two. If I went to Chaminade instead of Parkway West, I'm not good enough for private schools. Dude, private schools are overrated. Honestly, private schools are overrated. I mean, I guess not if you're trying to go into sports. You know, private schools are kind of the route to go if you're trying to go into sports. But as schools, I think they're overrated. Glad I'm not watching. Well, I already said that earlier, and like I said, it's an interesting game. I like your pronunciation better. My pronunciation. All right. Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, throws over the middle, and oh god, it's caught. Ferguson for about a 15-yard gain, and this is this where the game falls apart. This feels like where the game falls apart. Joe Burrow makes one mistake, and then the defense collapses. This is what feels like's probably going to happen because it happens every fucking week. Joe Burrow makes one mistake and the defense just completely forgets how to play football. Rico Dowdle, yep, there it is. They're giving him like 8 yards on the run. Almost had a face mask. Maybe the K is silent. It's T'Chuck. T'Chuck. I'm cousins with Tony Pike. There you go. Tony Pike, that's a guy who was relevant briefly for about 12 seconds. At UC, and now he does sports talk radio now, right? Yeah, Tony Pike, kind of a little bit of a local legend who literally nobody outside of Cincinnati has any idea who that is whatsoever, but that's pretty cool. 2nd and 3, it's going to be a short handoff there to CeeDee Lamb, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards, and the Bengals do stop him from getting the first down there. So maybe they can stop him from picking up here. Maybe. I don't know. They're probably going to hand it off, and the Bengals can't stop them. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Private school isn't about what you learn. It's about who you meet. That is also true, stranger. That is also true. That is also a good point. And, oh my God, it's like a 1.5 yard difference there. It was 3rd and 2, and they quarterback sneak it, and the Bengals can't fucking stop them. Are you kidding me? It doesn't matter what you do against this defense. They just don't care. They just do not. They completely fall apart when the pressure's on. If everything's going perfect, then this defense might be able to do might be able to do pretty well. But the second the pressure gets on, they completely lose their ungodly ability to do anything. Cham is odd. It's the private school pronunciation. Yep. Perry Nickerson is in the NFL, and he is my other family's cousin. Hell yeah, Mikey. All right, so that worked out okay. What was that? Rico Dowdle, I think, took the run, and he tripped. So that's great. He tripped, so the Bengals, that's about the best the Bengals are going to hope for, honestly, in a lot of these situations because of the way they, as I said, just completely forget how to play football the second the pressure's on. But, hey, if the other team trips, that works out for us. Chaminade. Chaminade? Okay. Writing it sounds kind of hard. Yeah, that sounds like the private school pronunciation. And see, that's what I'm talking about. CeeDee Lamb takes the run that time. I'm sorry, it's Kevontae Turpin. Turpin takes the run, and Kevontae Turpin takes the run, and Yeah, picks up the first down. Because, like, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You know, this defense is just completely incapable of holding anybody anywhere at all when the pressure's on. Never met him? Yeah. I'm cousins with Logan Hickey, who is not famous. Okay, so Cooper Rush throws it to Kevontae Turpin there, straight into the ground. I don't know what the hell happened there. I guess that works out. But again, doesn't matter because they're not going to stop them 3 plays in a row. They're just not. Oh, Mike Hilton knocked it down. Okay, that's what happened there. Chaminade. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a very private school type of pronunciation. Chaminade. We go on the side. We get to Chaminade. Like, pretentious ass private schoolers. Honestly, I get it's about who you know, or who you meet, but whatever. All right, and that's gonna be a throw to the left there. Cam Taylor-Britt coverage gives up like 7 yards, and that's what I'm fucking talking about, you know? Like, we don't stop anybody. We can't have 3 good plays in a row when the pressure's on. It's absolutely pathetic defense, dude. I'm not proud of my famous family, the band Hanson or Distant Cousins. You don't like Hanson? I mean, why aren't you proud of being family with Hanson? I'm not proud of my very, very, very. They're not even. Well, I'll explain that in a second. And there it is. Rico Dowdle takes the handoff and just gets across the first down marker because the Bengals just are absolutely completely fucking pathetic when it comes to any sort of high pressure style defense. They're completely inept, and this is where the game falls apart. This is what happens. This is what they do. Joe Burrow makes one mistake and the game's over. That's how these things go. You know, it's the third quarter and the game's basically already over. Like, I know what's going to happen now. Cooper Rush shotgun snap. Okay, they sack him. That works out. There's a flag on the play though, and Jermaine Pratt gets like pushed or something. They throw another flag, so. I don't really know what's going on here. Looks like they're going to call personal foul on Hoffman there of the Cowboys. So, hey, that'll be a nice little bonus. Maybe they can hold him to a field goal. Holding on the Cowboys is going to be declined, and then there's also going to be a personal foul on the Cowboys, and that's going to push them back about 15 yards. Second down and 15-yard penalty. Shamandale is the name, also the name of Division II University in Hawaii. Did not know that. Flag. Yes, it was. It was holding, and then it was, Jermaine Pratt just got pushed there. and Jermaine Pratt like straight up flopped too. Like, I mean, it was a personal foul. It was, but Jermaine Pratt totally like milked that. That's interesting. Okay. Well, they're out of field goal range now. I mean, they're not going to stay there, but Cooper Rush throws over the middle, and I don't know why he threw there. I mean, it's caught by Ezekiel Elliott, but it's only a 1-yard gain. Like, I mean, he was kind of getting rushed, but I don't know. Like, at this point, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm just getting in field goal range. It's 3rd and 24 now. 3rd and 24. 103, 102, 101, 100, 59, 58, 57, 56 for sinking purposes. 3rd and 24 from, looks like the 43-yard line. If you can stop them from getting in field goal range here, then, hey, that's nice. Cooper Rush, shotgun snap. Hands the ball off, and oh my God, there it is. Right in fucking field goal range. And they did stop him from getting the first down, to be fair, but, you know, he got most of it back, and so that's going to put him right back in field goal range, and the fucking Cowboys are going to take the lead. 4th and 10. Hey, maybe he'll miss the field goal. You never know. Brandon Aubrey, career long of 65 yards. He's probably not going to miss. All right, 47-yard attempt. Jesus. Did the Bengals take a timeout? I think the Bengals took a timeout. Oh, it's the end of the third quarter. Okay, all right. Heading into the fourth quarter. You think I'm famous in Tom Grossi's head for the wildflower poster? I mean, I guess maybe. I don't know. I mean, Tom Grossi comes across like a ton of different things all the time. Like, he might remember that. You know, he might. I can never tell. I've met Tom Grossi a few times, and I can never really tell with him. Like, I don't want to call him fake necessarily, because that's not fair. But like I've met Tom Grossi in person a few times, and he's very friendly. He's very nice, but it like in the same way that a politician is, you know, like he and I'm really not trying to like denigrate the guy or anything like that, but I've met him in person a few times, and it seems like you don't really get the real Tom Grossi when you see him in person. Like, you get a very genuinely excited Tom Grossi, but it's like it's all surface, you know. But I mean, you know, he's meeting a bunch of people, and he's on stage essentially. I talk about being on stage all the time, and you know, I don't want to say any of that to criticize him. I don't a plastic public persona. That's it. You know, that's kind of what I'm saying, and it's not a criticism. You know, I might do the same if I got to that level of like, you know, fame, because you got that many people who you're trying to like appease and stuff like that. But it does feel like we don't get like it feels like we get a character. With Tom Grossi, it feels like we don't really get Tom Grossi. You know, like whenever we meet him in person. You know, but again, not a criticism. I'd probably do the same thing. But you know, that's like, as far as like whether or not he, you know, remembers you for the wildflower poster. I mean, like that might be something. If you bring it up with him, that might be something that he remembers. Maybe, I don't know. But he'd also probably never really tell, because he'd probably just tell you that he remembers. You know, like he probably would not. Like he'd probably just kind of like, oh yeah, and then not actually, you know, like. I don't know if you'd ever know if he remembers you for a specific thing or not. But you know, again, not a criticism against this guy. Probably because he's very busy, but that's what I'm saying, John. He's busy, and he's also he's talking to a lot of different people all at once. Like, you know, like I mean, he's got such a like everything about like, you know, like his show is everything in his life. Or at least it's such a huge majority. At least that's the way that he, you know, expresses it when you do hear him be real on like his Q&As and stuff like that. All right, so the field goal attempt is up, and that's good. Great. But yeah, he's a real good guy. I'm sure he has a lot of genuineness to him, a lot of genuine intentions. I just feel like when you meet Tom Grossi in person, you don't get that genuineness. Maybe if it was like a more of a one-on-one interaction, you would. But you know, the likelihood of getting a one-on-one interaction with him is probably pretty low. You know, he's basically like a I mean, a low-level celebrity, but he's basically a celebrity at this point, right? So, you know. Yeah, he probably feels like he has to be constantly on stage, and I understand that, you know. Again, not a criticism. It's just it's an observation. So, and all that is to say that Mikey he may or may not remember the wildflower thing, but he'd probably tell you that he did. So I mean, I don't know. Where did I meet him? I met him. I met him in two places. I met him when he came to Cincinnati for the 30 and 30 thing. Got to talk to him. Like, I mean, he did like little very, very, very brief one-on-ones, but it was like in front of the whole crowd, so you didn't really get a chance to talk to him. You just got a chance to say something to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, okay," and then, you know, next person, you know, and then that was it. You know, and then I also met him in New York one time, because like, yeah, I was up there around the Buffalo area. Me and my wife were checking out the Anchor Bar up in Buffalo, and we were just kind of driving around in like the upstate area, and you know, ran into him at the grocery store, and that was like I want to say about like 6 months after I started watching his channel. So I wasn't like a huge fan of his at that time. I had watched it enough that I recognized him. I'm like, oh, hey, Tom Grossi, that's so cool. It wasn't really like if I saw Tom Grossi at the grocery store now, I'd be a lot more, talkative and stuff like that. But at the time, I was just like, oh, hey, it's Tom Grossi. That's a guy who's on the YouTube and does stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so two different times. The first time was coincidental, but it was also before I was really all that much of a fan of him. And then the second time was a very planned type of thing, But both times I met him, it definitely felt like, he was he was performative the entire time. It wasn't like, it didn't really feel to me like I was getting to talk to the real Tom Grossi, But again, not in a negative way, just in probably a very normal way that most people would be like. A celebrity on YouTube, one-on-one would be great, but highly unlikely. Yeah. I've tried to get him on my show multiple times, and he's ghosted me every time. Which, again, you were saying, John, earlier, he's very busy. I'm not mad at him. I just, you shoot your shot, and you hope you get it. But if you don't, you understand. I'm not mad at him, and he's rated my channel, and part of the reason why this channel has had the growth that it's had is because of those raids that he did. Khalil Herbert with a pretty decent return there gets it down to about the 32-yard line on the kickoff. So he does a lot. I'm not trying to say he's a bad ungenuine weird person I don't like or anything like that. Just it's a genuine observation. Saw him at the store. Wow, yeah, it was at I forget the name of the store. It was up at it wasn't Wawa, it was like whatever they had up there. I've been in upstate New York literally once in my life, and that was the one time. So, and coincidentally enough, weirdly, but again, that was before he got really famous. Joe Burrow throws it short to Chase Brown, and he does a nice little spin around there and picks up first down there. So that's good. Good to see. He's doing it for his brand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jeff. It feels like whenever you actually get to talk to Tom Grossi, it's 100% of the time it feels like he's he's playing a character. It's the Tom Grossi brand that you meet. I don't feel like you get to meet Tom Grossi, which maybe he's a very private person, which in which case, that seems very normal, right? But I basically just told that story to, talk about Mikey's question. Nice pass there by Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, by the way. That's going to be another first down. And that was threaded in exactly where it needed to be. So, after that interception, good to see that happen. I wonder how David's doing. You remember him? No, I don't. Who's David? What? I don't remember anybody named David. And I'm sorry if that was like a fan of my channel like early on or something, but I don't remember anybody named David. I'm sorry, Mikey. All right, so that's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown. He bounces around in the backfield a little bit. There's good run. Oh, the Who Dat Center. Oh yeah, I forgot his name was David. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I haven't really seen. Has he even been putting out content? Because I subscribed to his channel and I haven't seen anything. My dog's making some. What the fuck? My dog's making some really weird noises. Hold on. 2nd and 1. I'm gonna go check on him here in a second. What the fuck, dude? All right, 2nd and 1. Joe Burrow hands ball off Chase Brown. There you go. First down. I thought he got a first down on the last play. I guess he did. What is going on with my dog, dude? Are you okay? Oh, boy. Are you okay? Sweet. You all right? What's up? You okay? You scare me, dog. Or a cute little boy. Lay down. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My dog was really like he was like, and he just did that for like 5 straight minutes. That was they both they both like caught some. I think they caught kennel cough or something. And they've just been like crazy, like hacking and phlegmy and stuff, and like like real bad like me when my allergies are really acting up and stuff like that. And the little one just went to the vet today, and he's got pneumonia, so that's unfortunate. But it was the bigger one actually who was kind of hacking and stuff like that. So that was unpleasant. Yeah, but like the big one does not have pneumonia, but he's been just as phlegmy as the small one, and hopefully he doesn't get it. But he seems okay though. Seems okay. Herbert doesn't seem to have much top gear. I like to see Burton running it back. Yeah, well, Herbert. I like the idea of having Herbert there to kind of like mix things up a little bit. Decent blocker. He's basically Zach Moss, but with the ability to return kicks, right? Zach Moss a little bit better of a runner, but Khalil Herbert's a little bit more versatile. So I don't mind Khalil Herbert, but yeah, it'd be good if he had a better top gear. You'd like to see Burton running kick returns. Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. He was earlier this season. There wasn't a whole lot going on there. Khalil Herbert has been one of the better kick returners in the NFL over the course of his career, though, and definitely in college he was real good. Looks like Demarion Overshone got hurt, and he's being helped off the field, so that's unfortunate for the Cowboys there. Streamed with him last year. Yeah, I think I did a show with him at one point, if I recall. Working on a PC. Don't remember. Oh, yeah, his leg his leg really got wrapped up. Is my dog okay? He seems okay, I guess. I don't know. He's been like this for the last couple of days. But, I mean, he's not... Other than that, he doesn't seem super sick. But the other one got pneumonia. Joe Burrow really quick has to throw to Mike Gesicki, but he's got him, and that's going to be a first down. So that was a real quick pass with pressure, like a free rusher right in his face, but Mike Gesicki ended up being open, and that worked out pretty well. Yep. Could hear it on stream. That's unfortunate. That's I can't imagine that was very pleasant to hear. He did not sound good, but he seems okay now. I guess I don't know. I just yeah, going through Bark having pneumonia, the little one. He's not little. He's just smaller than Bork's huge, right? Like Bork's a freaking bear. Bark is just like a normal sized dog, All right, Joe Burrow throws it to Mike Gesicki, and that's another good pickup there, about 7 yards, and it's going to be second down and about 3 to go. They got the ball at the 13-yard line now, so they're making pretty good progress. By the way, Bork very stocky. Yeah, I'm not saying he's y'all have seen him on stream, right? I'm he's very stocky dog. He's not like a German a sheepdog or something just absolutely massive. Yeah, he's not like that kind of big dog. But he's very, bulky, and he's part pit. So I mean, he's got a lot of muscle to him, and he's the sweetest dog in the world. But I mean, he's very he's built very solidly, and he's also fairly large. Bark is about the same height as Bork, but he's much thinner. So 3rd and 2 after the play that basically did nothing. Poor doggy, yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to be okay, Jay, but I don't, especially after what we just went through with Bark, I'm a little paranoid, 3rd and 2. All right, come on, we got to get in the end zone, man. Got to get in the end zone. Joe Burrow, shotgun snap, rolls back, throws, goes up, too high for T. Higgins. It ain't there. All right, going to have to settle for a field goal. Hope the defense can come through, but I don't believe they can. That's the problem. He just straight up overthrew T. Higgins. And I don't know if T. Higgins was ever going to get that. You would have had to have the perfect pass to T. Higgins there, but Yeah. What was that pass? He was trying to put it where only T could get it, but it was just a little too high. It wasn't the worst pass I've ever seen. That interception earlier was the worst pass I've ever seen from him. You know, that one to T. Higgins there, I saw what he was trying to do. It was just a little too high. Cade York, kick is up, and that one's good. So the Bengals tie it up. Maybe the defense can do something. Probably not. But maybe they can. You never know. Steelers one more win. Well, yeah, but that's the thing, Mikey. Are the Steelers going to only win one more game? Like, 11-6. I swear to God, if they go 11-6, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. But the thing is, they've already won 10 games, and they have like 5 games left to go, right? So the likelihood that they're going to suddenly start losing all their games seems pretty low to me, and I hate that fact, but it's probably true. Like, they're probably not going to go 1-4 the rest of the season. It's probably just not going to happen. Let's see. Who's the rest of their schedule? I mean, I know they got a pretty tough schedule, so it's not like impossible, but let's see. Only 4 more. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 more games. Okay, so they got Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. And so it's quite possible that they what would it be? They beat the Bengals and then lose to the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs. As far as betting odds, that would probably be the thing that would make sense there. But I don't know if that's betting on a lot of stuff there. Like the Eagles are who really knows? The Ravens, that's a really tough matchup all the time. I mean, the Steelers last time they held them 16 points. So, you never know. The Chiefs, I mean, honestly, the Chiefs are overrated. We all know it. So I wouldn't be, and especially because the Chiefs probably won't be really fighting for a whole lot in Week 17, I wouldn't be shocked to see the Steelers take that one. And then the Bengals, and I don't want to talk about that last game. That's too painful right now. They beat you, lose to the Ravens, Eagles, and Chiefs easy. Yeah, well, again, though, it's the Steelers. Like, the Steelers do not make any fucking sense, Mikey. Like, yes, logically that would make sense because the Ravens, Eagles, and Chiefs are all better than the Steelers. And the Bengals are apparently not. But the Steelers don't make any sense. The Steelers make zero fucking sense. So the fact that it's going to play out the way that you like have it in your head, that's really unlikely because the Steelers just don't operate that way. I wouldn't be too upset if they did, honestly, because I'd love to see the Steelers like flame out in the playoffs because at this point they're definitely going to make the playoffs. But I'd love to see the Steelers just completely fall off. That'd be hilarious. But I mean, here's the thing. If they lose their next 3 games, it's really quite possible they lose to the Bengals too. Like, it seems really unlikely to me that they're going to lose 3 in a row after the way they've been all season. They're going to lose the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs 3 in a row and then beat the Bengals in Week 18. Like, I just don't see that. I don't think that's like that seems likely when you think about how good those teams are, like the good teams versus the bad teams, but it's not just about that, right? All right, kickoff goes through the end zone, and that is going to be a touchback. Was Russell Wilson bad in Denver because of coaching? I think that was part of it, Jeff. I think it was part of it was like the scheme. They kept trying to use Russell Wilson in ways that didn't make sense for Russell Wilson. I don't know what it is about Pittsburgh that's working out for him, but you've seen flashes of bad Russ too in Pittsburgh. Like when his first couple of games, I remember saying like, I love that they went and got Russell Wilson because he clearly is like has a lot of dumb plays, but they just kept winning with him, and it's just like ugh. Nice play there by Jermaine Pratt to take he got Rico Dowdle in the backfield there. About a yard loss, might have even been 2. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened to Russell Wilson with Russell Wilson in Denver there, Jeff, but I do think that it had a lot to do with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson not really meshing very well. I really do think that was a big part of the problem. 2nd and 11 from the 29. Cooper Rush takes a shotgun snap. He's going to throw it up, And that is knocked away. Great play there by Wilson. There you go. God damn. That guy we got off the street a couple of weeks ago, that was a great play to knock that one away. Cedric Wilson, right? Is that his name? Marco Wilson. I will remember his name eventually. Great play there by Marco Wilson to knock that ball away, though. That was really good. Turpin never had a chance at it. Played perfectly. That was a great play right there. 3rd and 11 now. And, hey, defense, got a chance. Looked like Jordan Battle was about to try to bum rush there. Nope, they're sending everybody. Geno Stone's right on top of him. Wow, all right, they blitzed Geno Stone and Jordan Battle, and Geno Stone was just completely unblocked and obliterated Cooper Rush on that play. Cooper Rush ended up getting the ball off, but it's still, it's going to be 4th down now. Cowboys are going to have to punt, and the Bengals offense has a chance to go do something here. Where's that been, Lou Anarumo? That's creative play calling right there. That's interesting play calling. Where the hell has that been all year? That's the kind of like old Lou Anarumo stuff that I've missed seeing. Where has that been? The Bengals go. This is how the season's been for me. The Bengals make a really good play on defense, and all it does is really piss me off. All right, a whole lot of nothing there on the punt return. It's going to be probably about the 26-yard line where he comes down. Kitty goes me out defense. Hey, defense did a good job there. They did. Got to give them credit. I was complaining earlier about how they fall apart when the pressure's on, but they didn't on that drive. Give them credit on that drive. It's the Cowboys, first of all, so let's not act like they're doing this to the fucking Chiefs or whatever. Although they did play pretty well against the Chiefs earlier this year, as I recall. They held them the Bengals offense kind of had an up and down game, but the defense, as I recall, actually did a pretty decent job. Yeah, they held the Chiefs to 26 points, which the Bengals totally could have, beaten them with that, but they didn't, obviously. Let's see. Did a really good job in the first half of that game. And really, it was the difference in the game was the strip sack and subsequent touchdown return in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and that gave so basically the Bengals defense held the Chiefs to 19 points in that game. So they actually did a really good job in that game, which is even more frustrating that they we're at where we're at, because we really had we had a 70 at one point that we were there was a 70% chance near the end of that game that we were going to win that game. And then at the very end, I do remember now, because that very last drive felt really how are you just going to let that happen? They played well all game, but when it really mattered, Patrick Mahomes, they weren't able to do anything about Patrick Mahomes marching it right down into field goal range. Even though before that, they had forced a punt, gotten an interception. In fact, this is how the Chiefs' drives went in that game. First drive was a field goal. Next drive was an interception. Then you had interception. Then you had a field goal. Then you had a touchdown. Then the Bengals forced a fumble, and then they forced a punt. So in the first half, most of the drives that the Bengals had against the Chiefs were really good for the Bengals. And then the Chiefs, they got a touchdown on their first drive coming out of the half, but then the Bengals got an interception. And then they forced a punt. And then on the final drive, most of five of the 8 drives that they had leading up to that point in the game, they did a really good job. But they just let them march right down the field for a field goal to win that game at the end. And that's where I think I came away thinking, man, our defense seems like it's pretty okay, because especially after they did really well against the Patriots for the most part. But at the end of the game, same thing with the Patriots. At the end of the game, when they had a chance to win it, they just couldn't get it done. So maybe they do that against the Cowboys today. I don't know. We'll have to see. We got 9:33 left in the fourth quarter. And Joe Burrow's going to hand the ball off to Chase Brown, and he picks up about 5 yards on the run. So, it'd be nice if they could pull this off, man. It'd be nice. Give the defense a little bit of, Because a lot of these defensive guys are going to be back next year. Like, I mean, we're not just completely... Even if Lou Anarumo isn't back and I get my wish, it doesn't mean that like every single defensive player is going to be replaced. So it'd be nice to see them like actually kind of go back to like doing some of the stuff they used to do and get some confidence heading into next season. That'd be really nice. Wilson could have picked that if he tried. Possibly. Joe Burrow shotgun snap. He throws. He's got Tanner Hudson. There you go. That's a real good over the middle diagonal route there. And he picks up about 15 yards. All right. Moving that offense. They'll love to see it. We can go get a touchdown on this drive. That'd be real nice, man. Be real nice if we go get a touchdown on this drive. And obviously the defense still has to come through to solidify it, right? But, I mean, you're really giving yourself a real good chance to go win this game if you can go get a touchdown on this drive. All right, so it's going to be a pitch to the right for Chase Brown, who cannot do anything. Oh, my God. Amarius Mims just absolutely horrible in run blocking there. What the hell are you doing? He lost like 5 yards on that run. Dude, Amarius Mims. What are you doing? That's actually a 3-yard loss, but still. Amarius Mims pushed down Drew Sample, and that's part of the problem. Like, Drew Sample had his block, and Amarius Mims pushed him over. What are you doing? What an absolutely awful play there. My God. All right, 2nd and 13. Joe Burrow's motioning Yoshi to the left, takes the empty shotgun snap, and now he's going to throw short to Yoshi, who bobbles it a little bit and fumbles. Oh, my God. You cannot be fucking serious. I'm so done. Cowboys recover the fumble and take it down to the 29-yard line. I'm so fucking done, dude. I'm so fucking done. That's 2 turnovers by the offense now. And I can't even get mad now at the defense. This is, the offense just fucking blowing the game. Yoshi never had a fucking hand on that. He was bobbling the ball and eventually got some manage of control over it, but never secured it. My God. But he made a football move, so, I mean, that still counts as a catch. But, I mean, like, he didn't even, like, he just threw it behind him. They're saying it's an incomplete pass, actually. That was Yoshi who fumbled, but they ruled it an incomplete pass. Interestingly enough. And that's a stretch. That's lucky. I would argue he made a football move, but maybe you could argue that that was part of him catching the ball. I don't think so. I think that's a fumble, but whatever. I think that's a fumble. I really do. I don't know. That's hard. That's really hard to say. I don't know, man. That's really tough. Okay, whatever. 3rd and 13. I guess we got lucky. We sure did, Jeff. I don't know. I'm okay. That type of play usually does not go in our favor. So, okay, whatever. Joe Burrow shotgun snap. 3rd and 13. He gets fucking sacked and he fumbles. Okay, and Tanner Hudson recovers at that time. But what the hell? Joe Burrow fumbled. Tanner Hudson recovered, but whatever. Zach Taylor's pissed off about something. I don't know what's going on. Why Zach Taylor? I can't tell what Zach Taylor's pissed off about. I am so confused. Drew Sample, the one blowing the block on that play. Which sucks, because usually Drew Sample's a really reliable blocker. Well, damn it. I mean, at least we didn't fumble the fucking ball and give the Cowboys easy scoring range. There looks like there's a flag on the play. Gonna get like false start here or something on the Bengals probably. Yep, false start. 4th and 16 is going to turn into 4th and 22. Done. No, not quite. That was not a catch. He never had control. I mean, you could almost kind of argue he did. Oh, I see what Zach Taylor's mad about. That was a fucking face mask from hell on Joe Burrow. I see exactly what Zach Taylor's mad about now. That was absolutely egregious that the refs did not catch that. Maybe that's the refs doing a makeup call because that was like kind of lucky that we didn't get the fumble there. So I don't know. It's actually going to be 4th and 21 here. The refs are a fan of Yoshi. Well, apparently. Yoshi got bailed out on that one, honestly, John. I really do think so. All right, so it's a low snap, but Recal still ends up booting it. And that is going to... It's going to go too far, though. Touchback. Close game, 27-23 final, I say. Well, hopefully the Bengals end up on that 23 point. That'd be nice. Well, I mean, the Bengals avoided disaster. It still wasn't a very good offensive drive, but they did avoid disaster, so that's not nothing. Neither team will make the playoffs, sorry. Well, yeah, obviously, Jim. Vikings and Lions already clinched. Yeah. I don't know what the Lions... Yeah. Obviously neither team's making the playoffs, Jim. That's ridiculous. Like, whoever wins this game still isn't making the playoffs. Like, I don't even like with the Cowboys. Like, what's their what are they? The Cowboys are 5-7. So I mean, the Cowboys could, I guess, but I don't even know what even is their schedule. Like, if they could, I mean, theoretically, if they win this game, they could go 10-7, maybe make the playoffs, but they won't, right? Especially with Dak out. Like, Cooper Rush is not gonna like. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 4 games after this. Cooper Rush is not going to go on a 5-game win streak with the Cowboys. They do play the Panthers next week, to be fair. So they win this game, they could beat the Panthers. And then maybe they have some momentum and they beat the Bucs. But are they really going to finish off with 2 wins against the Eagles and Commanders at the end of the season? I doubt it. So, yeah, probably neither of these teams are going to make the playoffs. I'd be pretty surprised. This team sucks. It's better than the Cowboys. They are. They should be. Should be better than this. It's absolutely true, Richard. It's just completely fucking pathetic. This whole season's been pathetic. And as much as like I do like aspects of Zach Taylor, at some point, who do you blame? At some point, who do you blame if not the head coach, right? Like, obviously, I blame Lou Anarumo. I blame this guy, that guy, and the other guy. But this is Zach Taylor's system, and this is what has yielded. Without Joe Burrow last season, we couldn't even go make the playoffs with a pretty decent, chance to do it. I don't think Zach Taylor gets fired after the end of the season. I really don't. Especially if they have if they lose all the rest of their games, he'll probably get fired, right? But I don't see Zach Taylor getting fired. I could see them kind of demanding he get rid of Lou Anarumo. But I don't think Zach Taylor gets fired unless it's just completely catastrophic. But that's just not really the way the Bengals do. That play looked in trouble pre-snap. Did not see it. Ref's makeup call. It did kind of seem like a makeup call by not giving them the face mask. Because, yeah, that was clearly a face mask. But I think that was, I think they were kind of even in the score there a little bit because the Yoshi thing was a little shaky. All right, so the Cowboys got the ball at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be a handoff to 23, and nobody... Oh, my fucking God. Who missed that tackle? Who was that? It was like a defensive tackle who was, like, all over him. Might have actually been Joseph Osai. He was, like, all over him, had a clear shot at him, and just completely was not able to bring him down. Okay, maybe not a clear shot, but still, like, you had both arms on him. You got to bring him down. Very bad play there by Joseph Osai. Another first down for the Cowboys. This is what our defense does, dude. All right, it's going to be a fake handoff that time and a very awful, completely ridiculous throw by Cooper Rush to Ferguson there. I mean, nobody's in the vicinity. It falls harmlessly to the ground. But, like, what the hell? That was... You have no excuse for missing that throw, Cooper Rush. Like, I could have made that throw. Like, what? I get you're on the run, but, like, that was way out of nowhere. What on earth was that throw? Some of these throws from both of these quarterbacks today have just been wild. 5:53 left to go. Cooper Rush fakes the handoff, and there's just so much holding going on there, but I guess they're not going to call it. But it works out okay because Cam Taylor-Britt does a pretty good job in coverage there, and incomplete pass, even though it was also very heavily overthrown as well. But it's 3rd and 10. So, hey, defense, get off the field here. He was all over Cam Taylor-Britt's face mask, too. Now, that's the type of play that is not pass interference, but if it had been done against the Chiefs, it would have been called pass interference. Just want to point that out. If we were playing the Chiefs, they would have called pass interference on that play. Got to get more of that fucking Kelsey in front of the whatever. Cooper Rush does a good job of evading Trey Hendrickson there, but cannot get the ball off in anywhere that matters, and it's going to be 4th and 10. They're going to have to punt. So after all my belly aching about the defense, they got the job done there. So you know what? If they're going to prove me wrong, then I'll take it. Part of it's you're playing Cooper Rush, who's also very bad. Like, Cooper Rush isn't a starter in the NFL for a reason. Although last time we played Cooper Rush, he beat us. For what that's worth. 4th and 10. Punt is away. And that's going to be returned from about the 19-yard line and picks up about 5 yards to the 24. There's a flag on the play. It's a very late flag. Came from the defensive backfield, though, so potentially going to be on the Bengals here. Illegal block in the back on the Bengals. Dude, they have gotten... It seems like the Bengals have just had an abnormal number. Like, am I wrong? Does it seem like it seems to me like the Bengals have had an abnormal number of block in the back penalties? And I'm not saying the refs are calling it too much on us. I'm saying the Bengals are committing too many block in the back penalties. Like, what the hell? Joe Burrow putting a sleeve on his knee. Oh, God. I don't know if I have the emotional stability for this, guys. I've been a Bengals fan my whole life, and they have taught me resiliency. You know, it has been a lesson in trying to be as zen as you can to not let them drive you insane. But I don't know if Joe Burrow gets hurt, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have the emotional capacity for that. Especially in this season, of all seasons. Speaking of garbage teams winning despite them sucking, the Chiefs, yeah, exactly. They're basically the Bengals, except they don't use the black magic to shoot themselves in the foot. How they do that, I don't know. The Chiefs are the Bengals. If the Bengals were able to actually, had enough luck and maybe help in some cases to pull like fucking rabbits out of their ass constantly. Like the Chiefs are, and you saw that the Bengals lost to the Chiefs by 1 point earlier this season and was on a last-second field goal. I mean, the Chiefs and the Bengals are basically the same fucking thing. The difference is the Chiefs. The Chiefs end up taking the opportunities they have, and the Bengals don't. And that really is the key difference. Like, it really is the key difference that the Chiefs take the opportunities when they're there, and the Bengals don't. And that's the thing. They make just as many mistakes. Their defense is up and down like ours, although I think ours is definitely worse. But the difference with the Chiefs and the Bengals is the Chiefs take advantage of the opportunities when they're there, and the Bengals don't. And I think that's coaching. I think that's Andy Reid versus Zach Taylor. I really do. And that's part of why I'm saying, and maybe I hate it, but maybe it is time. Maybe if we miss the playoffs, which we almost certainly will now, then maybe it's time to move on from Zach Taylor. We blew them out and we suck. Yep. We have a better record, just saying, great for you, Mikey. Regardless of what happens to the coaching staff, what I want most is a complete revamp of the scouting and drafting. That's not going to happen, though, stranger. Like, if that's what you want, good fucking luck, honestly. That's not happening. Like, Duke Tobin's going to keep doing things the Duke Tobin way, and he's never going to get fired because the Bengals just don't care to. They'll throw the head coach under the bus before they throw Duke Tobin under the bus. He's basically a family member of the Browns at this point. 1st and 10, Joe Burrow fakes the handoff to Chase Brown, runs out of pressure, throws on the run, and he's got Jamar Chase, and that's a good play right there. They keep giving me hope. Man. And I almost kind of wish they wouldn't, but they keep doing it. Chiefs always either get refs help or lucky. Yeah, that's the thing, Jim. But they also, again, they take advantage of the opportunities they're given. The Bengals don't. The Bengals, when they do get help from the refs, it doesn't matter because they just fall apart anyway. Hope Bills beat the Lions. I'm sure you do. Joe Burrow shotgun snap throws. He's got Yoshi for about a 5-yard pickup there. There's your boy John. How was Osai not held? Because they're not gonna because of the refs. That's why. ADG tipped it. Did he? I must have missed that. Find videos of Nintendo, NFL, Paris Hilton, Elsa Frozen. Elsa? Well, seems out of place. And Paris Hilton. Why Paris Hilton, Jim? 9 of my card collection and more by Jim NFL 7. Appreciate it. Yep. Y'all, Jim puts out content. Go check him out. I don't know what Elsa and Paris Hilton's odd, but, you do what you do. Oh, Joe Burrow throws to Jamar Chase, and there's a flag on that play, and I think that's going to be pass interference on the Cowboys. Jamar Chase almost caught that, but it did look like he was just getting absolutely disrupted. He was not able to get on his feet there, and it's largely because he got he got grabbed by the Cowboys player there, Lewis. Yeah, he was being handsy that whole way, and he grabbed his leg and just didn't let him get that ball. Yep, good call by the refs there. That was pass interference. It was soft, but it was pass interference. That was Jordan Lewis, by the way, 8th-year cornerback out of Michigan. So that was who was on the pass interference there. 25 years of Tobin is more than enough. Yeah, which is unfortunate because, when, we realized that Tobin was kind of the GM, we kind of thought that was going to really kind of change things, and overall it really kind of hasn't. Chase Brown gets the handoff. Not a whole lot there, maybe 2 yards. We thought Tobin was going to change things, and in some ways he kind of did, but in a lot of ways it just really quite hasn't been good enough. We've seen a lot of the problems, and it might be time, but I don't see that. Duke Tobin is basically a family member at this point for the Bengals front office. I don't see them getting rid of him. Mike Brown's still the owner? Yeah, he's going to be the owner for until the day he dies, Mikey. That's how the Bengals operate. They're a family business. They don't operate like a normal NFL team. Joe Burrow shotgun snap. He throws Jamar Chase. Got some good blocking there, and I think he might have got enough for the first down after all that. Good play. There's a flag, though. Hope they don't call holding on the Bengals here, but they might even call late hit. No, they're going to call holding. Shit. On Yoshi. John's like, Yoshi! But Yoshi got called for holding. Kind of fucked us over there, John. Kate Middleton and Jay Leno headlines, too. I like variety. That's fair. My only thing is your channel name is NFL Jim NFL 7, so it makes me think that you're doing NFL content. So Paris Hilton, Jay Leno, Kate Middleton, and you do what you want. It's your channel. You run it the way you want. It's just for me. I'm like, oh, those are some odd topics I wouldn't expect from a channel that's advertising itself as an NFL channel. But again, hey, you do what you want to do. It's your channel if you enjoy it, and definitely you're on here on my chat all the time, and I appreciate you for it. So definitely everybody go check out Jim. All right, so that was a weird fake handoff there. I think they're going to call the Bengals for holding on this one. Joe Burrow's just going to eventually dump it off short to Drew Sample, and he doesn't even get enough for the first down. Fumbles it, but it goes out of bounds. So. Holding on the Bengals, so I guess the good news is, you're going to get to replay second down. Holding on Cody Ford erases the play, but it gives him another down, which I'm almost at this point kind of like maybe another down would be good. But yeah, dude, the fact that we're relying on Cody Ford is just... This is what I'm saying. People are like, oh yeah, bench Cordell Volson and put Cody Ford in there. Y'all realize Cody Ford is not a good starter, right? As bad as Cordell Volson has or hasn't been at certain points, he's better than Cody Ford. Come on. 3:07 left to go in the game. 2nd and 26. All the way back at the 30 now. Oh boy. Gonna need some big chunk plays here. Joe Burrow throws it short to Chase Brown for some reason. He picks up about 6 yards. I'm not really sure what the thought process was there. Now it's gonna be third and 20. Like, man, why are you throwing it short like that? That's a really weird play. Micah Parsons, is he hurt? I don't think so. I think he was kind of like on his hands on his knees there, but I think he might. I don't know. Looking like he's a little shaken up, but maybe not. It's all John's fault. Might be John's fault. Yoshi, this is not Mario Kart. You can't use items to your advantage. Joe Burrow shotgun snap. Steps out of... nope, he gets sacked. I hate everything, dude. I hate everything. It's going to be 4th down and just a fucking light year. And they're going to probably take this down to the 2-minute warning. Try to draw in other viewers. Yeah. But at the same time, you also want... Like, the thing about YouTube is to be successful on YouTube, you want to have a niche. So, I mean, it's one thing to draw in other viewers, and if you do it consistently, maybe you can develop, like, a really interesting, good niche. And, like, obviously, I mean, Jim had, like, you know, a ton of subscribers last I checked. So, I mean, he's obviously doing something right. So, maybe don't, maybe you don't need to listen to my advice, right? Because, let's see. Like I said, last I checked, Jim had a really good number of subscribers. Yeah, Jim's got like 11.4 thousand subscribers. Like, so maybe you don't need to listen to me, you know? Maybe you don't need to listen to me, Jim, but, you know, I would just think, your last video got 19,000 views. Well, okay, that wasn't your last video. That was 2 years ago. But, I mean, you got a video on your channel with 19,000 fucking views. 2 months ago, you had a video that had 9.3 thousand views. That's better than anything I've ever done. So you probably don't have to necessarily listen to my advice. It's just it seems like you might want a little more consistency. But again, your channel's doing better than mine, so maybe I'm wrong. Got 186. That's pretty good, Mikey. I think I got 514 right now. 517. So, the channel probably could be doing better if I had been more consistent over the last year and a half. But I thought that school would be a really good investment, so we'll see if it pays off. But we'll see. What would you call a Yoshi sound? It's not a roar. Would Yoshi go toot? YGT. He does like a meh, right? So like, it's not a toot. No, I wouldn't call it a toot. Is it a laugh? It's definitely not a laugh. It's like a. It's not like the. I keep wanting to say honk, but it's not a honk. It's like a. It's kind of like a deep version of what like a squeaky toy would make. Like whatever. What's a deep squeak? Like a really deep like guttural squeak. That's what he does. He just says his name, yeah, but it sounds like meow, like it sounds like kind of like a deep guttural squeak. I don't know what you would call it. Like a florp or something. I don't know. And we're punting on 4th and 27. Kitty goes meow. Yell, let's go. Whee. Oh my God! And the punt's blocked. And the Bengals recover the punt, but they do not get anywhere near where it needs to be for like a first down. So, or does that actually? Since the Cowboys touched it, I think that actually the Bengals get the ball, right? The Bengals get the ball because the Cowboys touched it, so that counts as a fumble. So it was a blocked punt, and then and then the Cowboys touched it, so that was essentially a muffed punt at that point. And then the Bengals recovered it, so I think the Bengals get the ball, and it's a turnover in favor of the Bengals, actually. Interesting. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think that's a fumble, and the Bengals get the ball back. Yeah. Yeah, he tried to get it and he didn't. And then it looks like Tyson Anderson and Mumajong Meta was the one who actually did come down with it. But I think that's going to be Cincy ball. What a fucking crazy turn of events. Wow. So the Cowboys get the punt and then fumble the blocked punt. That was actually like the greatest trick play. Maybe the Bengals intended it all along. A greatest fucking trick play that was never intended. Holy shit, the Bengals got the ball. I cannot. That is mind blowing. All right, dude. And with 1:53 left to go in the game, if you take your time getting the ball down the field, Cade York can come in and win the game with a field goal. Interesting. That is a game changer right there. Joe Burrow throws, and he's got Yoshi, who does not fumble or hold. And so that's about a 6-yard pickup. It was out of bounds, though, so it stops the clock. I would maybe work on not stopping the clock, personally, if I was the Bengals. I would work on milking that clock a little bit. I mean, if you can get a field goal, and the defense is playing kind of well enough that, I don't know, but I would milk the clock here if I'm the Bengals. Because, like, this is your last drive, you know? Just accept that it's your last drive. There you go. Chase Brown takes the handoff, and he just busts through the Cowboys line down to the 40, and that clock is running. And, we might pull this off. We might genuinely pull this off. I did not see that coming. I genuinely did not see that coming, y'all. Wow. Yeah, I mean, what a turn of events for a Monday night game. This game has been competitive. This game has had some fun turns. It's been pissing me off at certain times, obviously. But Joe Burrow takes the shotgun snap, throws, and he's got Jamar Chase, who gets past the man down to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Let's go! Jamar Chase in the end zone. Dude, this game's had everything, honestly. For a Monday night game, the only thing it hasn't had is being between teams that fucking matter. Like, really, at all. Like, I mean, neither of these teams are making the playoffs. Obviously, both teams still technically could. But man, like, if only this game, if only the Cowboys and the Bengals were actually competing for the playoffs, this would have been a fucking instant classic of a Monday night football game. This has been a pleasant surprise how good this Monday Night Football game has been. You know, even if the Bengals lose at this point, which, God, if they lose at this point, I just extra point's good, by the way. Yeah, if the Bengals found a way to lose this game, I would just fucking cry. I don't even. At this point, with 1 minute left to go in the game, if you lose, but they're not going to do it. I'm knocking on wood. But anyway, but again, even if the Bengals did lose, it would still be an instant classic of a Monday Night Football game. I think we can all agree with that. Kitty goes meow. They figured it out there, John. I don't know how. The kitty was trying to like fucking run itself into traffic, and then like ended up getting hit by a car, but that car bounced it in a very unthreatening manner straight into like a pool of catnip. Like, I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it was just fucking magic, I guess. I don't know. We finally found some of that Steelers black magic that they've been, using all year. I don't know how I don't know how that play just happened for us, but I guess it did. Okay. And they finally took advantage of the opportunity. That's the other thing. That's the one thing they have not been doing all year, is taking advantage of the opportunity they've been given. Now, the defense has got to stop the Cowboys. This is their last drive, probably. And so they're going to be, they're probably going to be, like if you can. What the Bengals are probably going to do here, and I kind of hate it, but I also kind of get it, but what the Bengals are probably going to do here is they're going to most likely, they're going to basically try to give the Cowboys, like, room to throw in the middle of the field and just try to, like, give them little chunks. That way they can try to run some clock off, and then they're going to, like, bank on trying to hold them to a field goal. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen, because it's what they almost always do. But the risk there is that if they get a touchdown, dude, That's the risk. Cooper Rush throws over the middle, and that's exactly what happens. Throws it to CeeDee Lamb and gets it down to the 45-yard line. And the Cowboys are probably not going to take a timeout. Oh, there it is. Okay, they took a timeout with 50 seconds. Took a little bit longer than you'd think they would for that, but yep, okay. Cesar Blanco, the Cowboys fan I am watching, is farther behind than you are. Yeah, it's tough with some of these streams, dude. It is really tough with some of these streams. But I've even had this problem. I've even had this problem with live TV, before I was streaming and stuff, but I would text my friends with the stuff about the game and stuff. I'd be watching live TV and they'd be telling me stuff before it happens. And I'm like, wait a minute, how am I live, but I'm behind you? That doesn't make any sense. But this has just been a problem my whole life, really. 1st and 10, Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, and he gets taken down by Myles Murphy, but does manage to fall forward over the line of scrimmage, so it's not technically a sack. But, it's a very good play with this much time remaining. I don't understand why the Cowboys aren't taking a timeout. 35 seconds left, 2nd and 7. Cooper Rush gets taken down by Trey Hendrickson. There you go! There you go! 30 seconds left, and the Cowboys are going to take their second timeout, I'm guessing, unless the Bengals are absolutely fucking stupid. But, it's the Cowboys. Trey Hendrickson is absolutely fucking elated over that, and I'm so happy for him, dude. I really am. Come on, dude. Let's finish this damn game off, man. It's been such a hard season. Just fucking give us something to be happy about, man. Just give us something to be happy about, man. Let's just fucking do it. God, we need this win, man. We really do. Even if we're not going to make the playoffs, man. This is why I cannot stand tanking, dude. If you fucking tank, then you miss this shit, I get it, but no. 3rd and 15. Cooper Rush, shotgun snap, throws over the middle, and he's got, was that Ferguson? Yeah, it's Ferguson, tackled by DJ Ivey. Now it's going to be 4th down. So that was about a 7-yard pickup. It's going to be about 4th and 8. 24 seconds left. The Cowboys take their final timeout. So at this point, they're pretty much going to have to... I don't know if they have enough time to get down the field and get set up for a field goal. Unless this is a big play for a field goal, right? But it's 4th and 7. You got to try to just get the first down. So... Well, wait, no. Obviously, they have to get a touchdown no matter what now. No timeouts left. They have to get a touchdown on this drive. So the Bengals now, you got more options now. You can give them some yardage in the middle of the field and keep that clock winding. Don't give them a ton of yardage, but give them 15 yards here if you need to. But hopefully you don't have to, right? Anyway, Cooper Rush takes a shotgun snap. He's got pretty decent pressure and he overthrows Ferguson there. And that's pretty much the game, right? Because that was 4th down, 4th and 7, and he just overthrows Ferguson. So the Bengals defense holds. They get the job done. All right, man. So we're about to be 5 and 8. I'm not sure if I should be that happy about that, but dude, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't want to tank, because I want to be happy when they win. I don't want to be mad when they win. I want to root for winning, and dude, Trey Hendrickson needed that fucking sack, dude. He's had such a good year, but Trey Hendrickson just fucking delivered that win to us on a silver platter. And he needs stuff like that, man. This is why you don't fucking tank. That win right here. This win is way more valuable, just showing that we can do it. Getting to 5 and 8 and, giving yourself some momentum to end the season. That way maybe you can come back next year and do something good, as the Bengals do their final kneel down, and Micah Parsons is being kind of salty and just walking off the field and not shaking anybody's hand. But it's an emotional game. I get it. I'm not gonna shit on them too much over it. But dude, we need wins, man. We need wins more than we need the number 6 overall draft pick, right? We're still gonna probably get a top 12 pick. We're not. It's not a great team this year, right? We're probably still going to get a top 12 pick. If we get lucky, we might make the playoffs. And that'd be pretty cool. We're not going to, but like if we get really lucky, maybe we make the playoffs. But like the 3 or 4 draft pick difference you're gonna get is not gonna make that much of a difference. Don't tank. Just don't tank, please. For the love of God, don't tank, because like this feels so good. We're 5-8, and that's not who really cares. But like I care. Trey Hendrickson cares. Joe Burrow's just happy to get a win. Look at him talking to the reporter there. He's just like, oh, look at that smile on his face. He's like, oh my God, we did it. We did it. I thought we lost it, right? Because I said, oh, here's how it happens. The offense, makes one mistake, and then the defense falls apart, and then they almost made another mistake. But I was like, this is where the fucking tournament happens. This is what they've been doing all year, and then the defense didn't fall apart. I gotta give them credit. Fair enough. I still am not in favor of Lou Anarumo keeping his job, but I do have hope for some of the players on defense. I feel like we can win next year with this defense as long as we put some new pieces in there, right? Like, maybe Cam Taylor-Britt doesn't need to be your number one corner, right? Maybe Geno Stone and Von Bell or a weird Jordan Battle don't need to be the only options you have at safety. And they're giving Joe Burrow a Simpsons donut, and he took one and smashed it in Jamar Chase's face. That's fucking beautiful. You just love seeing stuff like that, dude. Like it's just so nice to see. Like, and it's got to be painful for Cowboys fans, and sucks to suck, but. And, poor Micah Parsons and whatever. I don't fucking care. Dude, we needed a win so fucking badly. And I don't care if we're going to not make the playoffs or whatever. I'm just happy that I stayed up till 11:30 at night to watch the fucking team win, man. Like, thank God. Please. This is why you don't tank. Because that just feels good, It's time for the defense, but that might be asking for too much. Apparently it wasn't. It wasn't, Jay. Part of it you're playing Cooper Rush, too, right? I said that the same thing when we played the Giants. Part of it is the team you're playing. Because, like, Trey Hendrickson set that win up. But it really was Cooper Rush overthrowing the guy that kind of sealed the fate there, right? We'll see if Cincy can stop Red Rifle 2.0. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, we're 1-1 against Cooper Rush now. At least we beat him. Just found a soundboard of Yoshi sound effects online. I'm sure that's all over the place. Cowboys 1-6 at home. That's sad. Yeah, dude. After all the money they put into that stadium, too. It's crazy. Welcome to the 5-win group. Hell yeah, Mikey. Yeah, let's talk about that 5-win gang. Woo! Hey, you know what? We could still make the playoffs. We could still do it. Are we going to do it? No. Could we? Technically, yes. Technically, yes is better than no. That block punt, dude, that block punt was fucking, like, that might have been the wildest game. That might have been the wildest play I've ever witnessed. Definitely wildest Bengals play I've ever witnessed, right? Because, like, they blocked the punt, and the offense is struggling, and you're just thinking, oh my God, this is the fucking turning point. The Bengals are just going to fuck it up. And then the Cowboys fucked it up, and the Bengals took advantage of the opportunity. Like, what? The Bengals took advantage of the opportunity? God, that's some 2021 shit. But yeah, like, yeah, that block punt was huge, dude. Like, and that was such a wild play, like, the Cowboys had that block punt. Oh my God, what a crazy momentum driving play. And then they fucking muff the return. Just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. God, I love it. Parsons looked like he's ready to Palmer Dallas. he did look like that. I don't know if he would. Dallas, see, the reason Palmer did what he did was because he felt like the Bengals were not willing to spend the money or, make the moves or put in the effort to put a winning team around him. I don't think you can make that argument for the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. You can make the argument that Jerry Jones is dumb and makes bad moves, but you cannot, I don't think you can make the argument that Jerry Jones doesn't try, right? Now, I know a lot of Cowboys fans were upset that they're all in this offseason just looked terrible, But most of the time, Jerry Jones makes big moves. And, if I'm not saying you're saying he's going to do that, but like if Parsons did just randomly do that because he was just like, Jerry Jones doesn't try, it's like, well, what? Jerry Jones usually tries. Like, yeah, there was a weird offseason this time, but like Jerry Jones is not like a penny pincher. That's not his nature. 5-8, but not 8-5, so no playoffs. Yes, Jim, I understand. We're almost certainly not making the playoffs, but we could, if we win all the rest of our games, then we got like a 20% chance of making it if the rest of the NFL kind of, like I put out that video, but for all y'all who are still with me here, I'll kind of walk you through how it happens. So Bengals beat the Cowboys, right? So now our playoff chances have increased to 1%. What? How are our playoff chances at 1%? That seems silly. Okay, whatever. Okay, Bengals went out, right? If the Bengals went out, then how did their playoff chances go down? I don't understand. So the Bengals are currently apparently a 14% chance to make the playoffs. That can't possibly be right. This has got to be wrong. This doesn't make any sense. The Bengals, the simulator had the Bengals at a 2% chance to make the playoffs. And then I said they're going to beat the Cowboys. And now it's down to a 1% chance. What? This thing's broken. Okay, well, I guess let's just kind of go along with this then. But it can tell it is accurate when it comes to other things then. Like what they like it's accurate when it comes to like actually putting team like as a playoff simulator. So Bengals win out all their games. And this has got the Bengals at a 15% chance to make the playoffs, which seems low, but whatever. So then you got to have a big one. The next week, the Texans got to beat the Dolphins. That's probably the biggest game next week. The Buccaneers beating the Chargers would help. I think maybe the Colts beating the Broncos probably. And the Giants beating the Ravens would help, but probably not that necessary. Week 16, if the Titans beat the Colts, which that seems like a big ask, but maybe not. The Colts are weird. So if the Titans beat the Colts, and the Chargers beat the Broncos, which that one's I think quite possible. 49ers beat the Dolphins, that one's also totally possible. And then suddenly, the Bengals are at a 46% chance to make the playoffs if they went out. Now that's with obviously things going very, 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 very well, but we haven't said anything that's completely out of left field yet, right? Now Giants beat the Colts. That's probably not happening. And then the other option is Jaguars beat the Colts. That's also probably not happening. Well, shit. Okay. So yeah, almost certainly not going to make the playoffs. What about the Broncos? Where are the Broncos? Broncos lost to the Chargers. Lost to the Bengals. Maybe if the Broncos beat the Colts, but lose all the rest of their games, right? Because that puts the Bengals at a 57% chance to make the playoffs based off of this scenario. And then Chiefs beat the Broncos. There you go. So, I mean, this would basically just be relying on the Broncos to essentially lose out, but also they beat the Colts to not make the Colts a problem, right? So, yeah, if the Broncos kind of have a bad end of the season, which I mean they're doing pretty well this year, so that's probably kind of unlikely. Let's see. Well, they beat the Colts. Then they would let's see. They must be on a bye in week 16. Seems like such a late time to have a bye. Oh no, here we go. They lost to the Chargers. So losing to the Chargers, quite possible. And then losing to the Bengals is part of the scenario, right? And then they lose to the Chiefs. That's quite possible. So, I mean, it's a tough stretch for the Broncos. And if the Bengals can beat them and also win all the rest of their games, then, it's not completely out of the realm of the possibility the Bengals can pull it off, right? Now, you still need the Colts to lose some of these games, which seems unlikely. Like, it's either, Titans or Giants or Jaguars. But, I mean, you never know. Never know. All right. But anyway, let me go ahead and catch up with these comments, and we'll go ahead and head on out of here. Besides, it's not what you pick; it's how you use it. That sure is a thing that people say sometimes. Not really. There you go, Mark. Okay. Donut. Yeah, donut right in his face. That was funny. I like that. Bengals win. Let's see if we can win against Tennessee next week. Yeah, I think we can beat Tennessee. I really think. Are you? Okay, never mind. Is that a Blue Jays hat, Connor? I thought it was a Broncos hat at first, but is it a Blue Jays hat maybe? So yeah, if you beat the Titans next week, then you got the Browns the week after that, and you can totally beat the Browns. Browns are not good. We were thinking maybe with Jameis Winston they'd be better, but now the Browns aren't good. So Cowboys, Titans, Browns. Those are the games that we're expected to win, honestly. Then you got the Broncos. That one will kind of determine if there's any hope. If they don't beat the Broncos, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs at all, right? And then you got to beat the Broncos and Steelers. Those are two tough games. Got to beat the Broncos and Steelers to end the season. Now maybe the Steelers have the AFC North wrapped up, and they can't necessarily. They don't have like a seeding to fight for, so maybe you see the Steelers playing their backups and the Bengals get in the playoffs because of it, or the Bengals get to 9-8 because of it, right? So maybe there's that thought process with the Steelers, right? The Broncos though, the Broncos is going to be easily the toughest game is going to be against the Broncos, I think, unless the Steelers start falling off and then they're really competing for the AFC North or something in Week 18. But if the Steelers can clinch the AFC North by Week 18. Which I really don't want to root for that. But in that scenario, the only tough game you really have left is the Broncos. And if you beat the Broncos, then there's, as I showed, if you beat the Broncos, then there's a decent chance that things kind of fall in your favor and maybe you kind of sneak into the playoffs from there. I mean, who knows? Probably, almost certainly not. But but maybe, 10:22 p.m. there. Yeah, it's 10:32, or I'm sorry, it's 11:32 p.m. here, John. So you must have sent that 10 minutes ago. Should Cincy try to sign Micah Parsons in the offseason to pair with Trey Hendrickson? Is he available? Micah, hold on. Is Micah Parsons available? I can't imagine they would pay him what his let's see. Yeah, I don't think he's available. I think he's going to be on his 5th-year option next year. Yeah, he's still got another year left with the Cowboys. And then I would imagine they'd probably franchise tag him after that. So we're not going to have a chance to sign. I mean, maybe we could trade for him. I doubt that would happen, but maybe if he's that done, then maybe. But no, the Cowboy, he's going to be a Cowboy next year. He'd probably cost too much too, but I don't think that'd be an option. If y'all were in the NFC South, Cincinnati would be far from out of it. Yeah. What's going on with the NFC South? I know you're right, but NFC South, Buccaneers are 7-6. So I mean, yeah, you'd be 2 games behind, but yeah, we'd base it now. We'd be pretty much out of it. In the South too. There's only 4 games left, right? There's only 4 games left. You're 2 games behind. The team leading the NFC South. The way we've played all year, like we've either been swept by the Buccaneers at this point, or we've already lost one game to them with one game left to play, right? So I actually don't think that we would still be having a realistic shot at the NFC South. I don't think that's right, Mark. Because Miami won yesterday, if they lost to the Jets, it would have helped your case. Well, yeah, but I mean the Dolphins are still kind of an issue, so. Like the Dolphins still have a lot of issues. I'm not too worried about the Dolphins right now. Our chances of the playoffs is low, even if we went out, because we don't control our own fate. Yeah, it's relying on it's relying on some pretty significant turns, I think. So it's still pretty low, and it's unlikely, but I mean it's still the possibility's there. The possibility's there, and I'll tell you what. Even if we don't make the playoffs, if we can at least like end the season with games like that, where it actually feels like we're building for something, and maybe next year might be better if we can fix some things, I'll be less depressed if we end the season that way, right? Like if I can at least go in the next season feeling like we haven't just completely missed the Joe Burrow window, then maybe maybe then that might be a way to kind of come out of the season and not just being completely depressed, Tennessee Indy is the divisional game. It is, but it's Tennessee, dude. Like I just don't believe Tennessee is going to do anything. So is Jacksonville Indy. Yeah, exactly. But it's Tennessee and Jacksonville. They're very bad teams. I don't. How's it going? What's going on, William? What's going on, buddy? We won. And I mean, like it's at this point in the season, like how much does winning even matter right now? But like I hate tanking because I love winning, Blue Jays hat? I thought it was. I think we talked about it before, too. Well, yep. 10 minutes behind on comments, 10:33 p.m. now. Yeah, I was 10 minutes. Well, it's because I was watching the game, right? Like, I catch up on comments when I can, but sometimes I might be behind on certain things. Steelers play Philadelphia, Baltimore, KC, and Cincinnati. They sure do. I don't have any. Like, if the Steelers lost all those games, like, if the Steelers, like, completely lost out, then I think the Bengals could. I think I did the math. The Bengals could theoretically make the playoffs over the Steelers, believe it or not, if they beat them out for a wild card. Now, they can't win the Bengals can't win the division because the winner of the Steelers and Ravens will determine, will eliminate the Bengals from playoff contention, so it's functionally like they're already eliminated. But the Bengals can theoretically leapfrog the Steelers for a wild card spot if the Steelers just completely collapse, which is possible, but probably unlikely. Now, I will say, Mikey was talking earlier about he's been talking about Steelers going to finish 11-6. Well, I'll tell you what though. Hold on. Steelers got 4 games left. That would put them at. If they lost out, that would put them at 10-7. So yeah, they wouldn't be competing with the Bengals. That must have been from last week. I don't know. Never mind. That's not true. Steelers have 10 wins. Yeah. Never mind. That was, I think, from my last video, and I forgot to update for this week. But never mind. Yeah. Yeah. The Bengals have no shot at the division, and as much as you hate it, you kind of got to just root for the Steelers or the Ravens. Whoever doesn't win the division, you just got to root for the Steelers or Ravens, ending up with the 5 or 6 seed, so you don't have to compete with them. That's really all it is. Yep. How are the Bears not eliminated from the playoffs? Because the Bears have been kind of like the Bears aren't the worst team in the NFL right now. I mean the Bears are not obviously bad and don't really have much of a future really, but I mean they're 4-9. The Bengals are 5-8 now, right? So I mean that's not that much There's not a whole lot of difference there, and there's still like 4 games left to play. So theoretically, if the Bears win out, they could end up 8-9, and I've already demonstrated that I've already demonstrated if the Bengals. Now, obviously, the Bears in the NFC, right? But I've already demonstrated that there is a path to the playoff for the Bengals if the Bengals end up 8-9. Now, obviously, it's a very, very narrow set of circumstances that I think could potentially actually be, like, eliminated. Like, if the Bengals... Like, I think there's a scenario that could happen next week. If the Bengals go 8-9, that would eliminate that as a possibility for the Bengals. But let me put it up here. Again, I talked about this in my video, but well, I'll go ahead and go through it here. So let's say the Bengals, Bengals beat the Cowboys, Titans, Browns. Let's say they beat the Broncos and lose to the Steelers, right? I mean, that would be very sad. But there is still a path. It's a less than 1% chance, but it could be done. I think it's the same if they lose to the Broncos and beat the Steelers, right? No, actually, that would eliminate them. So the Bengals have got to. The Bengals are required. If the Bengals are going to make the playoffs, they have to beat the Broncos, right? They are required to beat the Broncos. Maybe actually, I wonder. Well, no, yeah, because the Bengals have to beat the Broncos. If the Bengals don't beat the Broncos, they cannot make the playoffs. Period. But if they go 8-9, and their one loss comes at the end of the season to the Steelers, then if the Colts beat the Broncos next week in Week 15, and then the Texans beat the Dolphins, and then the Titans beat the Colts in Week 16, and then the Chargers beat the Broncos in Week 16, and the 49ers beat the Dolphins in Week 16. Then the Giants beat the Colts in Week 17. And the Browns beat the Dolphins in Week 17. And then the Chiefs beat the Broncos in Week 18. And the Jaguars beat the Colts in Week 19, Week 18. The Jaguars beat the Colts, and every single one of it has to be every single one of those games. Boom, 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 boom. No room for error. Then the Bengals make the playoffs at 8-9. Funnily enough, like absolutely wildly enough. Now, if the Dolphins beat the Texans, well, that doesn't eliminate them. They actually could still make the playoffs that way. You'd have to have the Jets beating the Dolphins. So let's have the Jets beat the Dolphins. How about if the Broncos beat the Colts? Then that eliminates the possibility. Okay, so the Bengals could still make the playoffs at 8-9 if one of those as long as 4 of those 5 wins, 4 of those 3 of those 4 wins, I guess now because we beat the Cowboys. If 3 of those 4 wins, one of them comes against the Broncos, then the Bengals could make the playoffs at 8-9. But if the Broncos beat the Colts next week, then that is no longer a possibility. So Bengals beat the Titans next week, but if the Broncos beat the Colts, then we have to win out. That's just the situation. Let me go ahead and take off all of these other things too, just to make sure. Or not. Hold on. No, actually, no. I'm going to take all of them off. Yeah, I think that's right. It looks like it's all these games, too. Yeah, I think it's all these games. Yep. So if the Broncos beat the Colts next week, then the Bengals have to win out to make the playoffs. 8-9, no matter what way you slice it, 8-9 will not be sufficient for the Bengals to make the playoffs if the Broncos beat the Colts next week. Now, if the Colts beat the Broncos, there's a very, 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 very narrow but existent number of possibilities that could work. But if the Broncos beat the Colts next week, then the Bengals cannot make the playoffs at 8-9. That's not. They're not going to anyway. That's not going to happen. But just for what it's worth, that is something to pay attention to. Commanders are 8-5 and have a tiebreaker over the 4-9 Bears. Yeah, that would make sense with that. But as far as like how they're not eliminated, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't pay enough attention to the Bears to really know exactly. But anyway, that's probably it for me tonight. So the Bengals get the win against the Cowboys, and it's only the 5th time I've got to say that this year. But I'll take it every time I get it. The Bengals win, and I'll always take the win because tanking is stupid. It just is. I'm sorry if you don't agree with that. I'm sorry, but that's my perspective. Tanking is dumb, and I will never root for tanking. I would rather have it if there's any shot to make the playoffs, I'd rather try to win. And if there's any shot to make the playoffs, I'd rather try to win. If there's any chance to make the playoffs, I'd just rather try to win. And even if there's not a chance to make the playoffs, I'd still rather try to win because at that point you're still on stage. You don't get to do this in a vacuum. You still have to try to convince people to join your team next year or convince people to buy into your system next year. Are you going through a rebuilding phase where you're like, it's going to take us 5, 6, 7 years to rebuild? Then okay, maybe tanking that first year would make sense. But what NFL team on the planet would commit to a half-decade long rebuilding strategy? They would never do that. Here's the thing. Real life isn't Madden. I feel like a lot of people try to build NFL teams like it's Madden, where you can just kind of throw numbers at it and think that, if you tank, then you get a better draft pick and then you can go look at the overall and, get the right guy. But it depends on, just because you have that draft pick doesn't mean you're going to pick the right guy anyway. And if you're in this position where you're thinking about tanking in the first place, you probably got there because you didn't draft very well. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, personally. So, but I am definitely going to get out of here. I'm kind of hungry, so I might go grab some food before I head out, or before I go to bed. But I appreciate y'all showing up. Mark says good rebuilds don't take 5 to 7 years. They take 3 to 4 years. Sometimes they take 1 or 2 years, Mark. But they definitely don't take 5 to 7 years, It's not to say that teams haven't ever been bad for 5 to 7 years and then turned it around and been good. You can do it that way, but no NFL team would ever commit to a 5 to 7 year long rebuild. No NFL team, because, think of all the revenue you're losing by being a bad team for that long. Think of all of the players who are just not going to buy into your system and, convincing anybody to really do anything. Convincing a coach to spend half of their fucking, a half decade of their career on tanking with your team. You wouldn't be able to do it. And in theory, you could maybe commit to the idea of just cycling through coaches and sacrificing them and being well, we're gonna, bring you on and fire you after a couple of years. Eventually people are just not gonna buy into your system at all because they're well, if I go there, I'm just gonna get fired in a few years. Why would I go there when I can go here and potentially build something because they're trying to build something? People don't think about that aspect of it because when people play Madden, they think that when people play Madden, they don't have to think about those things. They just go in and they hire a coach and then they fire a coach if they need to. And then they go throw a bunch of money at free agents and then they, find somebody's overall level, overall numbers, and the Madden ratings and stuff in the draft, and then they think that that's how real life works, and it just doesn't work that way. There's you have to be constantly on stage, you have to be constantly a salesman to really rebuild your team at all. And you're not going to do that by just throwing games away and throwing seasons away. People are Players see that and they think, oh shit, am I gonna have to end up throwing games away and putting shit on tape that's could potentially end up with me getting a less money in my contracts because I didn't put as good tape on the field because I was trying to tank for my owner. They're not gonna do that. It's silly to think that they would. But yeah, John says, have a good night. Kitty goes, meow, caw. There you go. Bengals get the win, man. I'm just happy to get the win. I really am. I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie!